Hello, gorgeous ladies of Exponential Wealth. How are you today? I'm so excited to be seeing all of you for already the third. Good morning. We see Kevin's screen share. Yes. Well, it's Kevin's account, and I'm screen sharing from his computer. Thank you. Yeah, we don't want any effortless alpha stuff in here. We can't know their secrets. All right. So what I want to do before we get started is I want to hear about your experience with the space between things that we did on our last call. Who here had an experience or a realization while they were doing that they want to share, that it was really like, whoa, I realized something, or this really hit me, or I saw something, or just anyone who had a profound experience with looking at the space between things, homework. I'd love to have a share. Someone wants to share. Everyone's still sleepy this morning, apparently. All right. So does someone have a mediocre share? Oh, Becca. Okay, Becca, go for it.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm still waking up a bit. I actually posted mine. It's actually 6 a.m. Here in California, and I came back late last night, so
Whoa.
I'm a little sleepy.
Okay.
But when I did my homework for observing space, I went out for about 10 minutes because I was at work. And what I noticed was in between even all the little plants that was in our patio area, there was a lot of space in between all the little leaves, just every little bark. And I happened to observe like a butterfly while I was out there. And it made me think like, wow, in their world, everything around them is huge because there's so much space for them to fly around. And it made me think of a statement that I heard on a podcast where a lot of people are afraid of having this abundance of wealth, and more of like, I shouldn't have this wealth because, if I'm giving, I shouldn't be. But if you really think in the perspective of how much space is around us, there is enough space for us to fill with this abundance of wealth.
Oh, I love that. That's a really good one. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Margot wants to share, and I think Melissa said she would share as well. So let's have Melissa first. And then we will have Margot. Yay. Mary's like, I'm really energetic and wired. I love that. Melissa, do you know how to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Oh my God. My video thing is going crazy and it wouldn't let me do it.
Oh no.
Okay. So I actually wanted to share because I have been listening to everything, but kind of on the background. It's been a really tough week, not even just for me, but I have a lot of friends that have been trying to talk to me. And it's actually really weird because yesterday 2 days ago when I was listening to the video and everything, I actually got a friend, and she, right when the call ended, she was like, I'm having a panic attack. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And she's never, ever talked to me about that. Ever. She does not display her feelings. So I was like, okay. And I was like, the goddess is with me and I'm going to figure this out. And I'm going to just listening to her. And I did everything that we've been doing with the trainings with here. And I was like, okay, I manifest that I am going to know what to say, because I've never done with this or dealt with it. So it actually really, really, really helped her at the end of it. And I was like, whoa, what just happened? I cannot even believe that just happened.
Congratulations. That is amazing.
It was huge. It was so big. And then actually yesterday when I was what I was even sending or showing to the group, that yesterday was the 10th of August, and my grandmother passed away July 10th at 11 p.m. And yesterday, the 10th, like 10 was everywhere. I was like 10 this, 10 that, or anything and everything I would look at would add to 10. And I was like, whoa, what is happening? Like, it was like the things that I would never even notice, like street signs, like even just like numbers of like the addresses, and they all said like 333. And I was like, what is happening right now? I was like, this is not real. I was like, this is not my life. It was like things that I would never even notice because I always look into like point A and B. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go home. And like, I never really take my time to watch everything else. So when I like do all this and like, I like went to do the scratch ticket, and then the winning numbers were 7 and 3, that added to 10. And then I was like, okay, let me do the 10th slot of the lottery, of the scratch ticket. And it ended up being 11. And then the winning numbers ended up being 11 and 11. And then I actually went to the 11th slot for the scratch ticket, and I actually won 5 times like that amount. And I was like, okay, I'm done. This is not even real.
Oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Yes. And like, I would never, ever would have done this again. Like, I was like in the gas station, I was like, I never play scratch tickets. I'm feeling really lucky today. And today's my grandmother's 10. Like, I was like, let's do that. And then the 10 was everywhere. And I was like, okay, I'm like totally creeped out right now.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yes.
And so tell me, did you do the space between things exercise?
So yes, so with especially like how I was saying with the space, like that I noticed of like the numbers, and like seeing that I never notice anything from, like I said, I just go point A to point B, and I'm just like, wow, there's like this tree outside that I actually took a time to like actually look at things, which I never ever do. I always just, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna rush, let's do this, let's go. Oh my God, this is huge. Okay. But now I'm like, okay, wow, there's like a tree here, and there's like a space between like the leaves, and like I go and like sit down and like actually kind of not meditate mostly, but I actually like pay attention to what's going on around me, which is like totally weird. That's why right now I'm like sitting outside because I want to look at outside, and like that this usually like I'm hovered in my like bedroom, and I'm like, no one talk to me, I'm like really busy right now.
Wow. So that's a beautiful shift.
Yes.
Well, thank you for sharing with us. I'm very happy.
Thank you.
This is amazing. All right, let's have Margot.
Space a little bit differently.
There you are.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think I did my observing space a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
I observed space in my head.
Oh.
In between my thoughts and in between my beliefs. I noticed that there's a lot of blank space, empty space. And if I can just sit and I'm okay in that empty space for a while, that new things can unfold. And that's where
I got chills on my arm.
That's where opportunity lies, in between those thoughts and in the void of just being and being open and waiting to see what unfolds, the new things that can unfold.
People are freaking out right now. Like, there are so many messages coming up while you're speaking. It's unreal. This is really amazing. And I'm so glad you brought this up because it's totally in alignment with what we're going into. So perfect timing that I gave you the last share, because this is it. You got it. And I'm so, so proud of you. You're amazing. I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. So here's one of our main conditionings that cause us to replicate the same life over and over again, unfortunately. We tend to look at the world and look for what's already there. When you look at the world and see and look at what's already there, you're not looking at possibility or potentiality. When you're looking at the world and you're looking at what's already there, you're just looking at what is. And when you spend your entire life looking at what is, it becomes very difficult to imagine you can change things because you're only looking at what's already there. So if I'm looking at a tree, well, there's a tree there. Can't put anything there. There's a tree in the way. But if I change my focus just a little bit, I'll notice that there are acres and acres of space between all the trees and in the roads and over the ocean. There's so much space, but I'm going to focus on the one tree I can't move. And we do this in our minds. We look at all the things that are undeniably there, the things that we can't quote unquote change, and those things become the things we're looking at every day. How can you change your life if you're always looking at the same obstacles? Yeah, but rent is so expensive. Yeah, but I'm struggling. Yeah, but people in my area, they just don't buy. Yeah, but the market's crashing in this area. Yeah, but this person was supposed to buy from me and then they changed their mind. Yeah, but this buyer, they were supposed to do this. They used to be a really great client and then they just stopped buying from me. Yeah, but this person, when we're looking at what's already there, we're right. And the most difficult thing is that manifestation, the easiest way to manifest is by manifesting what we absolutely believe is true. So what I want to be right about, I will co-create with the universe the most. So if I believe that I live in a hoity-toity part of town where people don't buy, and my business is difficult, and my bills are high, and the money's just not adding up, if I believe that, I will find every possible way to prove myself that that is true, in my thoughts and in reality, just by looking at what is there that is true, that what I'm saying is right. And there's so much evidence pointing in that direction. Look, my friend Susie's in a similar industry and she's struggling. That little corner store on the side of my house just shut down. It had been open for years. My best friend who tried to start a business just shut her business down. My man just went bankrupt. So obviously there's something going on around here. People don't buy. Something has changed. People just don't buy from shops anymore. People want to do everything on the internet. People, as if everything was generalized, but it's not. It's the things and the circumstances that we've seen. But the thing is, we've been looking for them. And we've been looking for them because we want to be right. Courtney says, I've said so many of these things. Who can tell already, like, oops, I think I may have said some of those things before. Oopsies. I'm just, and then sometimes it's even more than that. It's like, I'm too old or I'm too young. Anne-Marie says, I notice this in my relationships. I'm too young. I'm too old. I'm too busy. There's just no time. So the two biggest things, I'm 58 and I'm getting younger. I love that. The two biggest things that get in the way for us is time and space. I don't have the time, or the thing I want to put in my life, I can't because there's something there already. I want to put abundance there, but I can't because poverty is there already. I want to put ease in there, but I can't because hustle is there already. I'd love to make things effortless now, but I can't because I'm not that kind of person. I'm the kind of person who works really hard. And I can't change that because it's who I am. Because I just work hard and I do things like I hustle. I'm a hustler. And because I hustle, can't just automatically bring in calm and peace and effortless ease in my life. There's no space for that. I'm a hustler. Doesn't work. I live in a place where things aren't as developed. People don't buy as much here. If I lived in this part of town or in this country, then people would buy from me. But here, we're not developed yet. We have excuses, and the issue is we're not wrong about the excuses. It's just we're focusing on the one thing where there's no space. So when you start focusing on the space between things, what you start to actually see is that there's actually a lot more space than things on this planet. You make the speaker, oh yes, hang on, Why am I not that right now? Can you make the speaker the main screen, please? How did I do that last time? Let's see. I think maybe like this. Did this do it? No. No. Participants. No, that's not it. Nikisha, do you want to just unmute yourself and talk and see if it works?
So at the very top, if you'll take your mouse and go at the very top, you see this little tab that's green, and it'll say you are viewing Kevin's screen, or you're sharing your screen. It's got a little down menu that says view options.
So I have to go into Kevin's computer then.
No, it on Zoom, like on the Zoom tab.
Right, but I can't do it on my phone, even though I'm the host.
Oh, you're on your phone.
Yeah, remember his computer is the other one. But hang on, if I look at participants and I click on myself, it says spotlight video, and I had pressed on that before. Now I took it off. So
Can you on your phone you can't do that. You can't let me
okay,
do
so
it.
let me.
I just double clicked on your face, your little small face, and now your big face on my on mine. I'm on an Apple thing, but I just like went to you on the thingy and like clicked it twice, and now like you're all over my screen. So that might work as a participant. You might be able to do that just to make that.
Yeah.
Let's see your beautiful face.
I just wish I could do it for you, but okay. Well, everybody did it and it works. So bear with me and my technology issue this morning. Kevin will be back for the last one and I will be better. I'm sorry. So I'll mute everyone back again, and I'm going to tell you something while we continue here. So this is something I want you to realize. I am not perfect, like not even a little bit in what I do. And I'm confused about most technology things. And I learn and I do my best to like be, okay, how do I make this work? And how do I make this happen? And, you know, if I feared that by not knowing what I was doing, I wasn't good enough. If I thought, oh my gosh, I need to figure out how this works before I hold a Zoom call. I can't do a Zoom call. I'm not sure how to do all the little things. What just happened to Carla? Celebrating, just manifested a new partner for my network marketing up in a new country. Just got a WhatsApp message. Woo-hoo! Oh my lordy. That is amazing. That is amazing. Wow. Okay, this is awesome. So in your life, if you stop worrying that your imperfections are your limitations, and instead you just go with what you have and trust that you'll get the rest when it comes, you will build. Everything I've ever built, I built learning. You have two choices: build while you're learning, or wait till you know to build. And I will tell you, I am so glad I just put both hands and both feet in when I had no idea what I was doing, because this is where the magic happens. When you're willing to just learn. I'm not the best writer. I'm not the best writer. How do I write a blog? How do I write a book? How do I start? How do I do this? I have no idea what I'm doing. Write the first page, write the first sentence, hire Tracy, do something. Start somewhere, do something. Then later you'll get better, you'll get better. I don't know how to do it. I'm not sure. I don't have a printer for my labels on my jars. What am I going to do? I'm going to find someone who makes labels for my jars. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I'm going to wait. I'm going to find out. I'm going to take the time. Do it while you're learning. That exactly answers the first question I asked in the training. Well, that makes me happy. So you've got to just do the best you can. That's what happens. You do the absolute best you can, and then whatever you learn, you say what worked, what didn't work, what do I need to do differently? Like after this Zoom, I'll be like, okay, what worked? The information was amazing. What didn't work? I wasn't sure how to make myself the main speaker and make the main speaker thing change. I don't know how to do that. I need to learn how to do that. That's it. And the next time I know how to do that, and that's not an issue. So you just learn every time. Becca says we need to have a destination. We can always readjust along the way. Yes. It's like if I wanted to drive from Canada to California, well, if I took a couple of wrong turns, that doesn't mean I still won't make it. You know, if I take a wrong turn, my GPS will just recalculate and I'll loop back onto the highway and get back on. It doesn't matter. But if you're so uptight about never taking a wrong turn, then you'll never move. You'll never move. So as long as you're in your car and you're driving towards where you want to go, it doesn't matter how many wrong turns you take. As long as you keep driving, you will get to where you want. Whitney says, as long as you're open towards the experience and willing to learn from it while understanding you're not perfect, there's nothing you can't do. Like if I just had a nervous breakdown here and was like, oh my God, I never should have done that Zoom call. I didn't know how to put myself the main person. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I'm never doing a Zoom training again. I'm going to do Facebook Live from now on because I know how to do Facebook Live. Then I'm robbing myself from so much experience. If I'm willing to say, look, I don't know what I don't know that I don't know, but I will find out what I don't know when I go to do the thing and then I don't know. Then I'll be like, hey, I don't know how to do that. Then I'm going to learn how to do it. But I cannot just sit here and try to figure out everything I don't know before I get started. That's analysis paralysis. Melissa says, that's what happened with me and my blog. I never believed in my writing or was confident. Now I have a website and I have written over 5 to 7 blogs. That's huge. Nikisha says, that's exactly the answer to my question. One of my coach friends tell me how to do it. I have tears for your love. Thank you. Oh my goodness, Carla, that's amazing. That is amazing. Okay, and Courtney says, I do work really well when I'm thrown to the wolves my 9 to 5. I guess it never clicked that was possible with my business as well. Last month, I threw myself to the wolves and kicked ass. Ignorance on fire. Wow, that's a huge realization. I can truly do anything. Yes. And Angela says, I did better in my business before I knew what I know now. Now I overanalyze. Listen, I tell people this all the time. The reason I did so well in my business at the beginning is because I just didn't think there were any other coaches in the world. Like I thought there was me and Tony Robbins. Then I found out there was Lisa Sasevich and Brendan Burchard. And I thought, that's it. That's all of us. And then I found out, oh, well, no, actually, there's a million coaches. Thank God I didn't know that in the beginning because I might have gone, there's no way. There's too many coaches. No one will ever hire me, blah, 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 blah. So when you don't think about that stuff, you actually do more. When you don't think of limitations. And if you think back to the video we watched on the first ever training, that kid blindfolded on the field, had he been looking, he would have crapped out way before because his brain would have been like, you cannot carry a full-size man across a football field. You will die. Stop. But his body didn't know how far he was going, so he kept going. When we put the blinders on and we're just looking at what we want instead of what's in the way, things start to change. And Marie says, my business was crazy quick successful when I didn't know about the industry. And then when you start to, compare, you lose everything. So this is something that happened to me for a moment. I did start to compare myself once I realized how many coaches there were. But I didn't do it for long because I realized what it was doing to me. And I was like, look, what's the point? I'm going to be nervous that people aren't going to hire me because now I know they're there. Before I knew they were there, people were hiring me. So what's the problem? And I really just put my blinders on. I'm happy there are other coaches in the world. But I don't need to know what everybody else is doing. I've got to focus on what I'm doing. I don't have time to be comparing myself. Besides, comparing myself means looking at what's in the way, not looking at the space between things. And I can't tell you how many people have come to me saying, I was almost going to hire this person. And then for some reason you popped up and now I follow you. I was in this person's group and then you did a video in it. And then all of a sudden now I follow you. I almost did this and then I found you and I found you instead. What? Like I've had people hire me from Tony Robbins seminars, from Lisa Sasevich seminars, from like just talking to a person. I think Kelly, didn't we meet at a Lisa Sasevich seminar, Kelly? Yeah, we did. We're like sitting at lunch together at a round table. She's like, what do you do? I was like, I'm a coach. Really? What is that? Like, how does that work? The next thing you know, working with Kelly at another coach's seminar because we clicked. So if I was in my head about, oh my gosh, I need to be the next Lisa Sasevich, and I was completely comparing myself, I wasn't Lisa Sasevich yet. I was me doing what I do. And now I'm me doing what I do. I had clients, Rachel Young, for those of you who know Rachel Young, who's in Femme Fatale with a lot of us, and she's in Impact Academy. I met her at Tony Robbins after a conversation with Tony that was like the most embarrassing thing of my life, where he had me stand up in front of everybody and discuss with him why, in my opinion, I was not a sexy person. Like, he had asked the question, who here believes they're sexy? Like, who thinks they're sexy and who does not believe they're sexy? And I was like, I don't believe I'm sexy. And he was like, you stand up. In the middle of business mastery, there were like thousands of people. I was like, why did I do this to myself? And I stood up and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And we had this long interaction. Yeah, but back then, this was a few years ago before I owned my sexy. Back then I was like, I'm a kid. Like, I'm a goofball. I'm not sexy. I'm just me. But then he asked me, can you prove in the court of law that you're not sexy? Like, could we prove that in the court of law? And that question I take very, very far with me. Could I prove this in the court of law? Is it really true? Is it really true? You know, like, if you're like in my city, nobody's buying anymore. Is it really true? I could not find one person in your city that buys from anybody. I could prove that in the court of law? No. So why are you focusing on that? Right? So I had that conversation with him. Rachel was in the room. She followed me on social media for 3 years. Then she hired me for Femme Fatale, then hired me in Impact Academy, and a whole bunch of things have come from that. Melissa says and then Emily had you on your podcast, and then your energy was so amazing. I was like, I need to be friends with this Melanie. Yeah, because Rachel connected me with Emily. You know? And Marie says, I had a coach really try to get me into her one-on-one I had already worked with, that I repeatedly said no. I knew like nothing about you and jumped into this program. This is what happens. People, if you compare yourself, you actually limit yourself. It's like a spider web. We're all connected. We are all connected. And when you let go of what's predictable, comparison is the thief of joy. I believe that. If you compare yourself, if you compare your situation, you're going to lose, you're going to miss out, because comparison is also predictability. Based on what I'm seeing, this should happen. We don't want to work in the realm of predictability anymore. We want to work in the realm of potentiality. What is possible? And when you're comparing, you're not looking at what's possible for your life. You're looking at what's predictable based on, this person has even more than me. So if this person has more than me, then I should be doing less. Angela says, how do we truly stop comparing? Because I know not to do it, but I continue to do it. So when you look at someone you may be comparing yourself with, immediately just ask yourself, does this limit my potential? What if you become better than that person? What if there's more for you in the long term? Maybe this person is better than you now. Maybe you're right. But does that mean that this person will be better than you forever? Does it mean that this person is going to continue forever? Maybe they quit in a year. Maybe right now they are better than you. So what? It's the potentiality, the possibility that's important. This speaks to me so much right now. I'm so happy, Melissa. So what I'm interested in is how far I'll go. And comparing myself to someone else, looking at how far they've gone or how far they've come right now, doesn't help me find out how far I'll go. If you compare yourself, you're going to limit your potential. You're going to, because you're going to look at someone else's potential. You're going to look at someone else's reality and compare yourself to a reality instead of comparing yourself to a potential, which you cannot compare yourself with potential. Potential is unlimited results. No limits. You can't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 4 or chapter 10. I find myself comparing myself to me 4 years ago. I was in a much better shape, so I hate pics because I compare myself to 4 years ago. It's a vicious cycle. So this is one of the biggest things that I will, and I'm so glad you said this, Angie, because I should have said this by now, actually. You cannot ever have a goal to go back. If your goal is, I want my relationship with my husband to be like it was when we first met, that will never happen. I want my body to look the way it looked 10 years ago. That is never going to happen. I want my bank account to look the way it looked 3 years ago. That is never going to happen. I wish my hair looked the way it looked. It's not going to happen. You can never manifest the past. It's impossible. Manifestation is based on potentiality. So you can never try to go back. And it is defeating because it's impossible. You cannot manifest the past. It doesn't happen. So what you've got to do is really create a new image, because the new image is filled with excitement. Potential is filled with excitement. Comparing yourself to the past is filled with guilt and shame. How can you manifest from a place of guilt and shame? You can't. My body was so much nicer back then. Guilt, shame. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to craft the body that oh my gosh, I know, I can see it. I can visualize it. I'm going to look like this. Excitement, potential, possibility. I remember when money wasn't an option. I remember we used to have so much money back then. It was so great. I just want to go back to that so bad. Shame, guilt. I am killing it in my business and I cannot wait to look at my bank account and see more numbers than I've ever seen. Potential, possibility. I just wish things were different. Like when I met my husband, we loved each other so much. We were so in love and like we couldn't keep our hands off each other. And now it's just not the same anymore. And I just want things to go back to the way they were. Guilt, shame. I am learning how to become the sexiest, confident, awesome version of myself. And I am so excited to see what this does to my relationship. Potential, possibility. You can never go back to the past for two reasons. Number one, it's gone. You can't. And number two, you would still be going from a place of guilt and shame. You can't miss the past in a positive way. You know what I wish? I wish like it doesn't have, I wish I looked to the way I looked 10 years ago. Like it's not positive like that when you think about it. It's like, why did I think I was fat back then? I was tiny. What's wrong with me? That's more what we're doing. So we want to make sure that we're always manifesting from a place of joy, or else, this is the other issue, is you're not manifesting what you want. You're manifesting what you are. So if you are focusing on the fact that you don't like your financial situation and you wish you were in the past and you're manifesting guilt and shame, you're actually going to manifest an equally terrible money situation, relationship situation, health situation. You're going to keep duplicating and replicating over and over again because it's a loop. I feel bad about the way I look and I want to go in the past. I hate the way I look. I want to go back in the past. Well, you're recreating worse. You're recreating worse. So let's see here. Nikisha says we can also look at comparison as a trigger to boss up. It's pointing to our desire for more of ourselves. So if you look at someone, I actually believe this, that if you look at someone and you experience jealousy or comparison, if you can be aware of your thoughts and just say, if I am feeling this way around what this person wants, it's because I want it. Can I reframe my energy and my feelings around what this is that I want? Instead of this awful feeling, can I take this, because this is a great indicator of what I want, but can I reframe the energy and the feeling around it so that I can actually manifest it instead of repel it? Yes. Nikisha says, I used to think about going back high school skinny. I'd really look like a crackhead. It's not even true. I've done that a lot. Exactly. Shame is all over the place. Yes. Oh my God, that's what is going on here. I have guilt and shame daily. This is good. Oh my gosh. Amazing sauce. Sorry about the private message. No problem. Okay. Did you say you manifest what you're not? Who you are. You manifest who you are, not what you want. So even though you want $1 million, if you are negative in a money mindset that's terrible with a crappy blueprint, that's what you're manifesting. So it's, you gotta transform who you are. That's what you're gonna manifest. If they have it, I can get it too. Yeah, if they can do it, I can do it. That's a great perspective shift. Anne Marie says, what I started doing was writing down what I admired about multiple people and deciding to own it as who I was becoming, but my version. I love that. When I feel envy, I feel guilt. So if you could redefine that and just say, when I feel envy, it's because my internal guidance system is pulling me to look at what I actually want. But my emotional system doesn't understand that I can embrace excitement for that. Instead, I feel guilty or shameful that I don't have what that person has. And I feel bad about feeling bad about someone else's success. So it's about rewiring how we see things as well. Alex says, I love that reframe. It's so big for women. It has changed my female relationships so much, reframing how I perceive my jealousy. That is huge. That is so big, because if you look at a woman and you see what you want, and it comes from a place of, oh my gosh, I think I really would like to have that. You know, at first it's going to feel bad. Oh, then you're like, whoa, where's that coming from? Okay, so I want that. How do I reframe that? I need to put this in part of my manifestation rituals. Okay, it's okay. And then you send love to the person. Sorry for momentarily sending hate your way. Take that back. Congratulations on your success. I forgive myself. I'm sorry that I let myself go there. Write a forgiveness letter, burn it, let it go, keep moving. We're not perfect, but how fast is your refractory period? Remember when I said a mood becomes a temperament, becomes a personality? Seeing something you want that you don't have can put you in a mood. Seeing a whole bunch of people have what you want and constantly being in that mood can become a temperament. And that becomes a personality. When you look at women who become bitter and angry and who say, when I was young, I thought I was going to be all the things. And now look at me. And be careful about dreams because they disappoint you in the end. And you're just going to become old like me. And just don't even bother. Blah, 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 blah. Then that's their personality. But it starts with a mood. So if you can work on your mood, thank you. If you can work on your mood, then you can work on your temperament and you can work on your personality. And it is so big with Instagram and social media because people are constantly posting. Like, it has never been so easy to see perfect people do perfect things in perfect places as it is now. And to look at your life and be like, this sucks. To look at your friends post selfies that look perfect. And then you take one of yours and you look like a choking camel. And you're like, why? My friend looks like freaking a model. And what is this? What is this? Please, why? You put all the filters on it. It looks semi-okay. And then you post it. And then your next friend posts an even better selfie with the hashtag no filter. And you just screw it all to hell. I've had enough of this shit. Why? You should do stand-up. Oh my gosh. So it is hard with social media. It is hard. When you see, you know, it used to just be the one model on a poster on the highway. But now it's in all the ads on your Facebook. It's in the people you follow on social media dancing in their underwear because they're buying hair jujubes that make their hair long. They're dancing in their underwear. Look at me with my perfect little belly, and it has nothing to do with this, but I'm taking hair supplements. Like, what? I'm never going to get away from this, am I? Like, what is happening to me in this moment? It's just everywhere. So if you can't see that this is, so he's like, I'm dying laughing. If you can't see that you have the potential to do whatever you want, then you're going to get stuck on what you don't have. You're going to get stuck on what you want that you don't have. You're going to get stuck on what you think you can't do. Because instead of seeing the space you have to create what you want, you will see the things in the way. You will see the people who have what you want. You will be looking at the things instead of the space between things. I had a client a few years ago. She's an actress, and she came to me and she was like, nobody is hiring people of my age on TV. And I was like, really? Is that really true? She was like, yeah. And I said, that's really funny because how do they ever cast like mothers if there's nobody your age in movies? And she was like, well, I mean, I'm sure there is, but like, I'm just not getting any interviews. And I was like, well, what if you're not good enough in your interviews? Like, what if you're just not good in your auditions? She was like, I'm excellent in my auditions. What do you mean? Like, I'm excellent in my, I was like, okay, so you're an excellent actress. She was like, yeah. I was like, so you're an excellent actress and there are roles that need you. So explain to me again what the problem is. And she was like, well, I'm not getting hired. And I was like, can you see that I'm not getting hired is a way lesser problem than nobody's hiring people of my age in the industry, because that's going to limit you forever. And she was like, oh, I know, I'm just sick of this, you know, living this life, and I've got this Joe job and trying to, you know, become an actress. I've got this Joe job. And I was like, what's the Joe job? And she was like, I'm a waitress. I was like, no, you're an actress. What's the Joe job? And she was like, well, I'm trying to become an actress, but I'm a waitress. And I said, no, you're an actress and you're making money as a waitress on the side. I said, you know what the issue is you want to be right about this is not going to work for you. She's like, no, that is not true. I want this to work for me. I said, no, because every single thing you're saying is making sure it doesn't happen for you. What would you have to say in order for it to work? What would you, and you know inside, what would you have to say? She was like, I would have to say that I am an actress and that, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I went, what? She's like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I've been looking at my emails on our call. I'm like, great. She's like, but I just this second got an email. Someone's using one of the commercials that I run. I'm about to make like $22,000. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, no. She sends me the email. She did a commercial 6 years ago. They want to air it now for this huge company, and she's going to make $22,000 over the course of it running. On the phone with me. On our first call, she had told me I am broke and I can't afford the things and all the things. And I said, how broke are you? What do you owe? Tell me how much you owe. So she told me exactly how much. And I was like, there are people who can pay that off in a day. And she was like, I will be like damned if I could pay this off in a day. Sometimes I make this in a year. And I was like, what is the number? She told me the number. And what she manifested from that thing in her email was $3 more than what she owed on all her debt put together. And in one day, she paid it all off. And then she was like, holy shit. And now she is on ads everywhere. Like, I see her on the TV all the time. And I message her and I'm like, funny people don't hire people your age on TV. She is everywhere. She's the mom on the whatever it is commercial. She's the wife at Best Buy. She's the wife on the credit card commercial. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. And I just keep taking snapshots of her on TV and being like, little winky face. And she's like, I know. You change one thought, you change your whole life. Because the problem is you want to be right. It's a need for you to be right. What do you want to be right about? Because you will make sure you are. The people who do outstanding things are people who want to be right about something better than most people. I want to be right that I can make money from wherever I want in the world and I can travel wherever I want, so I'm going to make that happen. If I want to be right that life isn't fair and that because I had a crappy upbringing, I'm never going to have what I want, I'll also be right about that, because believe me, I was right about both those things in my lifetime. And now I'm right about this. And I love it. And I'd way prefer to be right about this. So the biggest thing is, what am I trying to be right about? What do I want to be right about? I want to be right about that you can't have an extraordinary relationship after 20 years. Or after 20 years of marriage, you don't know. There's no more magic. It's awful. He's annoying. He's got more hair on his nose than on his head. And it's not sexy at all. How are you supposed to be intimate with someone who drives you crazy? It's not possible. Then you've got people who've been married for 20 years. It looks like they've been together for 6 months. And they're like, we just love each other. We can't keep our hands off each other. And we really believe that aging is a privilege. And we're both like fine wine and cheese. We get better as we age. And everybody's like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Why? Because I don't have what you have. Can you change the perception? Say, if they can have that, I can have that. What's the issue? That's not what I believe. I believe that as you get older and as your relationship's been together for longer and longer, you disconnect. These people believe something different and something different's happening. What do you believe to be true? So what I'm going to do with you is I'm going to give you like 3 minutes, not to take too long with this, let's say 4 minutes, 4 minutes to get a pen and pencil, and notebook, and write down all the things that you want to be right about, whether they're good or bad. Open your eyes, look properly, and look at your life. What are the things that you are really determined to be right about? It's hard in my industry. This area doesn't work well. I'm too old. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I don't know how to start. I've been single for too long. I could never leave this relationship. I don't look the way I need to look in order for this to work for me. I'm not pretty enough. I don't speak enough languages. I don't earn enough to do the next step that I need to do. What are the things you believe to be true? All right. Let's get some shares. What have you found? Who would like to share with us? What are some of your things you want to be right about that you realize you're like, uh-oh? All right, Lindsay, let's hear from you.
Okay, so it's really funny. Before you even asked us to do this, I'd already highlighted. I'm like, I need to spend some time thinking about this. So it's interesting that you said to do it.
Good.
But, so I've been in a network marketing company for a few years. I really believe in the product, but I've always kind of like half done the business so that I could say when it wasn't working that it's not because I suck, it's just because I don't do it full. But when I was really digging through, you know, there's a lot of things that I've said, like meetings don't work. People don't want to be in network marketing companies. People hate people who do network marketing. I have a lot of school debt, and a lot of debt, period, from school. And so I sit around and I'm like, I have so much debt. And like, I've paid off like a big chunk of it, but there's still a huge chunk there. Right. And so I spend a lot of time in my head, like I have a spending problem. Like I have so much debt. And so it's like, why would people like want help from me? Because like the things I can offer, like they can get other places. Like why would someone want to, you know, buy my product? Or, you know, something else I've been considering doing is I'm really techie on stuff, like teaching people how to use Zoom, stuff like that. Like I'm good at that kind of thing, but I'm like, who would want to pay for that? They could just figure it out themselves. Nobody needs that. It's okay. So like, I just kind of like have essentially talked myself out of everything and done nothing with it.
There you go.
But yeah.
So let's pick one of those. Which one would you say is the most crippling one?
Probably that people don't want to do network marketing, and people don't like people more than anything. People don't like people who do network marketing, and I want to be liked.
Okay. So I'm going to reframe this for you and say people don't like people who do network marketing wrong.
That's fair. Yeah.
People who are good at network marketing are just people with products. People who are out of power, stressed for money, and so brainwashed by their companies that they're literally willing to tattoo it on their butt. And if you say anything about the company, it's like you've said something about their firstborn child. Like you might as well have told them their daughter was ugly. They're like, oh, how dare you? This is the best company in the world. The founders were born in 1987 in the heart of the Amazon, and they built all the things with their own hands, and they had blood and sweat and tears. And do you know how many people love this stuff? I know a person, it saved their life. It saved their life. How could you? How could you say that? Oh my God! Like, you need to pipe it down. You need to pipe it down. And I am not going to want to buy from you more because these people put their blood, sweat, and tears into. I don't need to know who the founders are. I don't need to know any of that crap. Go away. When someone tells me, oh, this mascara is Dior, I love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need Dior makeup. But when I hear this makeup was made by the founders of the people who created the world, and it is the most incredible product you will ever try. When you put it on, unicorns sing. And also, your lashes will grow from inside of your soul so long that they will tickle the ceilings of the universe, and you will feel a connection to source. So powerful. This is what people do. It's just like, oh my God, what is it? What is it? This is a drink I take and it makes me less hungry and it's great. It's helped me lose weight. That's amazing. This mascara is nuts. I put it on, my lashes grow. What? This is the best shampoo I've ever used. I used to be losing my hair and now I don't anymore. Wow. I used to shower, and I'm not joking, clumps of hair would come out and it would be like I was losing all of my hair. And since I've been using this shampoo, I have more hair than I've ever had in my life. That's what people don't like. Calm down. But if we go with what Tony had asked me, is it really true? So is it true that no one that's in network marketing is liked?
No, not true.
So in that case, you have the choice to be one of the people who's liked and one of the people who's not liked. You have the choice based on how you learn to do it and whether you do it the way that people feel comfortable or the way that freaks people out. You have the choice. But when you decide people don't like network marketers, you decide to be the kind they don't like. Because you need to be right about that.
That makes total sense.
And just out of curiosity, Truth Bomb, have you ever met someone who was afraid not to be liked? And you could like feel it off them? This like neediness to try to be your friend? Have you ever felt that? It's immediately stressful. So the more we try to act despite the belief, the worse it gets. It's the belief that needs to be changed. It's not what we do, it's who we are when we do it. If I profoundly believe that people are going to not like me because I'm in network marketing, I'm going to act to try to make people not like me. And then I am so annoying. So annoying. So the belief needs to go out the window. Is it true that people don't like network marketers? No. What's true is people don't like network marketers who don't do it right. So I'm going to find out how to do it right. And I will be the kind of network marketer that people are like, you know what? If all people were like you in network marketing, I would love the freaking industry. Can you imagine if you had that belief instead? I'm going to be the kind of network marketer that redefines network marketing. Nikisha says, we act in ways that prove our beliefs. That's exactly right. So what my goal is, be that person. Yeah, you be that person, everything changes. It's who you are, not what you do. Anybody could be annoying with anything if they did it out of power. I used to have an annoying hairdresser. Like every time I would go, she'd be like, so I have this brand new product. I was like, just cut my hair. Do you want me to try? I have this brand new product. I'm telling you, it's going to be like, and I just wanted to ask her, do you make a commission on it? I'm sure she made a commission on it. The way she talked to me about it, I was like, don't sell to me like that. Don't do that. Give me an opportunity to buy if you want and say, hey, I've got a new product that makes your hair super smooth and it grows faster. It's like $80. Do you want to try it? It's really good. Give me the option to buy it. Don't sell it to me. And then, you're annoying. If we stop fearing people won't buy, they'll buy. Because the reason I fear is because I believe they won't. If I believed they were going to buy, I would not be afraid. So it's the issue is what I believe. The issue is who I am in a moment where I am trying to sell despite my fear. Why am I believing this? Why do I even believe? And the issue is, so many times I've had clients in some of my smaller programs, they believe something bad's going to happen. They tell me it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then I'm like, what do you have as evidence it's not going to work? It's just never worked, blah, blah, blah. And then they go and then they try it and it doesn't work. And they say, see, I told you. I'm like, wow, you're right. Are you happy? They're like, no, of course I'm not happy. Are you sure? You seem pretty excited to tell me you were right. I'd be more excited to tell me I was wrong. You know, like tell me you were wrong with excitement. Oh my gosh, I was wrong. They bought from me. I'd be like, see, I told you I was right. Nobody buys from me. And I'm going to be broke forever. See, I told you. I'm right. See, knew it. So right. Careful what you want to be right about. Be aware of what you want to be right about. So I'm going to suggest, Lindsay, that you take some time. Actually, I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to do that in a minute. So stick with that. But thank you for sharing that. These were all great. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we had some more people who want to share, and I want to know. So let's have a look. We had Angela Fairfield that wanted to share, and then Sylvie, and then Sandra.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning. Okay.
Good morning.
So I'm also in network marketing, so I have a lot of those same fears that she has. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm not successful in this business. I've been doing this 2 years. I should be farther than I am. But I do this full time. So people will tell me like, well, obviously you're successful enough to be able to still stay home and not have to go get a job. And so, but in my head, I'm like, I'm not successful. So I think that's what's probably been holding me back for the last 2 years. I haven't really made any progress. I'm doing okay, but I haven't made any progress. When I was a kid, I was in speech classes, so I feel like my words don't flow. So when I get on videos, it's like, oh, that video was horrible, and I'll just start picking myself apart. They'll ask me to talk on stage, and I'm like, oh, I don't have that body I used to have, so I'm not going to get on stage because my clothes don't fit the same way. And then I'll just start picking myself apart. Everyone will take group videos or group pictures. I'm like, nope, can't be in that picture. And so it holds me back to so much because my confidence is so much less than it was. But it's all just probably stories that I'm telling myself. I mean, I don't think anyone else looks at me and is just like, oh my gosh, do you see that girl? Like, she shouldn't be wearing those jeans. So I think that all plays a part. I mean, obviously in your business, which is totally holding me back. So that's part of it.
So that's pretty amazing that you've noticed this, because this is the thing. If you believe that you haven't had any progress and that you're not successful, then who are you going to inspire to join your team?
Right.
Who's going to be like, you know who I want to work with? I want to choose Angie as my leader. She is so amazing. She does this full time. She's not successful and she hasn't moved in 2 years. No way. So what's got to happen is you've got to own a different story. And that story can be when you compare yourself to other people, you start imagining that you're not successful. When you compare yourself to other people, you start imagining that you haven't come far enough. But what's so important is to celebrate your accomplishments. I now work full time at this network marketing thing that I adore. And I'm about to take it to brand new heights. And I've done this in my life enough to be able to do this full time. And if you want to do it full time, well, I'm ready to skyrocket my results even more now and do even more. So if you're looking for a leader that's hands-on, if you're looking for a leader that's also growing, not just someone who's going to tell you to grow, but someone who's also doing the work, that's me. I made it here and now I'm going further. Who wants to follow me? That's the kind of leader that people want. And who cares if you had a plateau, if you're willing to go back again? Nobody cares except for you. So what's the story you're going to tell? If you stand on a stage and you say, you're going to have opportunity, you know, it is not our failure that scares us the most. It is the potential possibility that we're actually extraordinary. And that maybe you're afraid that you're going to be asked to get on more stages if you're more successful and you're going to have to show yourself and you don't want to. And you're limiting your own success because of what you're going to have to do once people say, you got to be on the stage, you got to come out here, you got to come here, you got to come here. So what if you owned it and said, if you limit your own success because of your own fears, you don't move? Me being on the stage right now is huge for me. And I'm going to be there so that you can do things that are scary and big for you. And I'm going to applaud you every step of the way. I got this, you got this, we got this. That's the kind of leadership people want. They don't want you to be perfect. They want you to be brave. Because whatever you're afraid of, they've also got fear. So following someone who's terrified and takes action is way more inspiring than following someone it was easy for. Because how can you help me if it was easy for you?
Right.
So can you reframe that belief in your mind? Can you say, I made it to this point. I'm proud of myself. I'm ready to take it to another level. And I'm willing to be the brave one so other people can shine.
Okay.
Would you be different in your life if that's what you believed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys are amazing, honestly, like absolutely amazing. Wow. Okay. Who did we say was next? We said Sylvie, and then Sanjaline.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I've written many things, but first one is that I'm not good enough. Second one is there is no happy love.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, sorry, the third one, I don't deserve happiness. And that people are mean. That's all I've got.
These are some really shitty truths to believe in.
I know. And I know them for a long time. It's already better, but they're still a little bit there.
Yeah. This is the thing. You are such an incredible woman. Like, I now have known you for a year. We coach every week together, twice a week. I know you. I love you with all my heart. And I can tell you that every single one of those beliefs is just crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not, they're not true. But what you feel inside when you're trying to say, well, I don't want to believe they're true, but I believe they're true. So what do I do? Because I'm trying to believe they're not true. Then something happens that proves it. I want to believe people are good. People are good. People are good. Then this asshole comes into my life and does this to me. So I'm right. People are mean. Mm. Okay, I'm going to believe love is possible. Love is great. Love is good. Now my boyfriend, my husband does this. Okay, I don't believe that. I believe something else. I don't believe that. I believe this. And then your belief comes in. So what's really difficult is that you can't try to stop believing what you believe. Mm. You have to reframe the belief. Mm-hmm. So for example, just the tiniest shift between people are mean and some people are mean. Mm-hmm. You see there's such a different energy between those two sentences?
Absolutely.
And you can still be right. Like, some people are mean, but one is like, so what? So what? Yeah, some people are mean. And the other one is people are mean. I've got to be careful. I've got to look out. I can't open my heart. People are mean. I've got to be careful. Mm-hmm. The other one, some people are mean. There's some that we just need to eradicate. Like, love what was the one about love? Say it again.
There is no happy love.
There is no happy love. There is no happy love. And Anna Marie says, we happy love you. So what could you believe about, okay, so there's no happy love. Now you've got to look at, there's a reason you believe this.
I've heard.
You've heard people say it.
Yeah.
You've seen people fight. You watch people suffer in their relationships. Maybe your parents fought. Maybe your relationships were hard in your life. And it's like, well, it must be true.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the issue. This is so important. So emotion is energy in motion, right? Emotion is energy in motion.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is that people share energies when they share the same emotions. And people share similar emotions when they've been through similar experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So if you meet someone who's also had the experience of feeling bad in love, then you energetically believe the same thing that person believes. Now you're right and she's right and you're both right. That's evidence.
That's like the focus.
That's the focus. Now, on top of this, we have an energetic bond, a connection between all people, circumstances, and events in the world that resonate on the same level as we do. So you will pull in energetically evidence of what you believe in, because the people who believe what you believe will be pulled to you all your life.
Yeah.
This is how we get to believe what we believe so clearly. Have you ever seen the movie The Truman Show?
Oui, yes.
So for the people who haven't seen The Truman Show, it's a movie with Jim Carrey, and it is like the most mind-warping movie. I watched it when I was a kid. I could not believe it. The movie is that Truman, this kid, is born in a TV set. So imagine like a ball, that's shaped like a planet or whatever. Well, he is born in the movie, in the show, and it's called The Truman Show. And everybody in the world watches this show, The Truman Show. He's Truman. He doesn't know he's in a movie.
Yes.
So his entire life is a movie. The same neighbors, the same people. And it's the realization that he gets that he's actually in a movie. I'm telling you, I watched this movie when I was a kid, and when I'd fight with my brother or something, I'd have this awful feeling like, what if the world is watching this right now? I need to be nicer. I used to think, what if I'm the Truman person and this is all a movie? So in The Truman Show, it's like every single thing that happens is happening to him. Everything's being attracted. And then all of a sudden when he realizes that he may be in this movie, or that this set is wrong, there's something wrong, everything he sees changes. All of a sudden, his wife is talking about coffee, and she's talking about coffee as if it's an infomercial. Would you like a coffee? This delicious, brown, tasty, roasted coffee with aromas. And he's like, why are you talking like that? All of a sudden, everything he couldn't see, he starts to see. This is what happens. You're energetically pulled towards people. You're energetically pulled towards people based on your beliefs and your emotions and their beliefs and their emotions. When your beliefs and your emotions change, everything changes. So do you know that outside of you, there is happy love? Have you ever heard of people that have had happy love?
Yes, but not so many.
Yes, but not many. So could you believe many people tolerate unhappy love?
Yes.
There's a very big energetic difference between there is no happy love and a lot of people tolerate unhappy love.
No, I've realized now that my focus is only on not happy love. But I have to create more focus on happy love.
Yeah.
So to see more happy people in their relationships.
Yeah. So if you believed a lot of people tolerate unhappy love, but I believe you can have happy love. I believe that there's people out there with it, and I'm on a quest to find them. Because I'm not going to be one of those people that tolerates that. I believe some people do. I've seen it. But I also know some people are happy. So I'm going to start focusing on happy love. But it's a lot easier to do that if you change the belief initially. Because if the belief is there is no such thing as happy love, you'll always be looking at happy love with a, but are they really happy?
That's right. That's what I've done.
Right. So you first have to change the belief. This is why it's not just about what we do. It's about who we are when we do it. Because if you just say, okay, I'm going to look for people who are happy in love, your brain will still say, yeah, but are they really happy? If you say some people tolerate unhappy love and I'm not going to do that and I'm going to start looking for happy love, now you're looking for evidence that you're right, that there is happy love. You're going to find it.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, the last one I want to look at with you, one of the biggest ones, is where you said, I don't deserve happiness. So I am going to ask you, do you think if I went to court and I tried to prove that I could win the case? Do you think it would be possible to win the case? Sylvie does not deserve happiness.
Okay, I have to create the situation in my mind.
So imagine there's a jury.
Yes.
There's a defense lawyer. There's a prosecutor. There's a judge.
Oh, no, now, not at all. No, not at all.
There's no way.
No.
I could line up so many women you've helped, so many women you've changed. I could help you think of all your missions in life, the things that you've tried to create, your beautiful daughter, there's no way. There'd be so many people that'd be like, that's crap, that's crap, that's crap. There'd be so many people that are testifying like this belief is crap. And the jury at the end would be like, this is the dumbest trial we've ever been on. Because there's no way.
True.
So our beliefs that we want to be right about, that we very rarely question, we very rarely take the time to say, what do I really believe in?
Or maybe to say it, because sometimes I really know them, but I didn't dare to share in front of everybody.
Well, thank you for sharing it in front of everybody.
And I think saying it is already the beginning, because you accept that and you can change that.
100%. 100%. Thank you. You're amazing. Okay. I love you ladies so much. I love you ladies so much. And this is the issue. When you believe these things, it's hard not just in relationships, it's hard everywhere. Like if I don't believe I deserve happiness, how am I going to build a big business? Because my big business makes me happy and I don't deserve happiness. So it's going to cut me off right there. Can't have that. Our limiting beliefs actually cut a lot of stuff off that we're not even expecting. You know, people don't like network marketers, cuts off my entire network marketing business if I'm scared of not being liked. I don't deserve to be happy cuts off every potential success because I don't deserve to be happy. So sometimes our beliefs, they get us stuck. So thank you so much for sharing, Sylvie. So let's have Sandra Lee, and then we're going to have Nikki, because Nikki said she wanted to share too.
Hello.
Hello.
So for me, this is really, really huge, because I feel like that's what I've been living in lately is my beliefs. I've been so aware, and I feel like they're just sucking the energy out of me. So this is really amazing. I have two really limiting beliefs. One, I had a kind of an epiphany yesterday where I feel like I don't deserve money. And I noticed that because what happened is I manifested. So for 3 days I was saying, what if, I could receive a $5,000 check in one day? And I kept saying it, and I had no idea how that was going to happen because I haven't done a job or anything, but I just kept saying it. What if, what if, what if? And yesterday I went in my mailbox. I just look in your mailbox. I opened my mailbox and I got a check for $5,443 from my insurance company when I had an accident. And I went to the bank and I deposited. I was happy, but I noticed myself as I was depositing the check, I had no joy. And I noticed it after. I was like, I had guilt. And I was like, why am I not jumping up and down right now? Why am I not? And then I thought, I'm like, I do this every single time I receive money for a job. I notice that when I receive it and deposit it, it's like I'm not happy. It's like this guilt. And then it clicked for me that I was always feeling guilty when I would receive money as a kid, because my dad a lot of the times would give it to me when he was intoxicated. He would give it to me freely. And I think I felt like, I felt guilty to accept it because I knew he was drunk. And I was like, what a bad person I am. And then when he wasn't drunk, he was always kind of withholding the money and saying, oh, we can't afford it. So I have so much guilt around money. I'm like, no wonder I struggle, you know, with my finances. And it really was huge, huge, huge. And I don't know how to change that belief.
First of all, I'm literally mind blown right now, like actually mind blown, because I don't think I saw anywhere in our group, hey, I for 3 days said, wouldn't it be nice if I got a $5,000 check and then I got a $5,400 check? I didn't see that anywhere in the group, Sandra.
No, because I don't celebrate myself.
Okay.
The problem. So I have to learn. I'm learning how to do that.
So here's what happened. You took your dad's money blueprint and you downloaded it into your system. And it was like, if he says we have money, then we have it. And if he says we don't have money, then we don't have it. And then if he gives it to me saying he has it, and then when he sobers up, he doesn't have it, that means he gave me money he didn't have, and I took it, and I'm bad, and blah, 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 blah. What we don't actually think about is that your dad said he had no money, but how did he get intoxicated?
Right.
So there's a difference between I don't have money and I don't have money for that.
And I knew he had money. That was the thing. I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. You have money, but you keep saying you don't have it, you know? So it was like messing with me.
Mm-hmm. So his negative money blueprint, you took it. You took it because it's what you knew. And that's what we do. We see something, we're like, okay, well, this must make sense. Here, I'll take it. And he drank his money. So he must not have a very positive relationship with it. He either gave it away or drank it. That was what he did with money. So now when you receive it, you get all stuck. So let me have a little conversation with you about money. Money is the energetic exchange between two people or two entities. This is how people have found to quantify an exchange. Like if we didn't have money, then we could say, Sandra, can you do a voiceover for me for my coaching program? And I will let you take my coaching program, which means, let's say my coaching program is $3,000 and you do the voiceover for me. So either I pay you $3,000 and then you pay me $3,000, or we do a service exchange. Can you see that a service exchange is an exchange of energy as well?
Yeah.
An exchange of money is like, well, I want you to do a voiceover for me, but you don't want to take my program. So I'm going to pay you $3,000 and then you're going to go do something else with the $3,000 because I can't energetically exchange services with you.
Yeah.
And this is what started happening when money was created, because before everything was an energetic exchange. I do this for you, you do that for me. But what happens if I want what you have, but you don't want what I have? I've got to create some sort of system where you receive my energy in exchange for the thing without me giving you what I have because you don't want what I have. I want to have what they have over there. So how do I get what they have over there by giving you what I have? How are we going to make that exchange between three people? We've got to create a currency, a note, something that makes it that what this is worth is this paper, this coin. So now this coin is worth your work. So I received that coin. Now I can go over there and have an energetic exchange with that person, their service for a coin. So everything you're doing in life is an energetic exchange. Everything that we do around money is an energetic exchange between two entities. In this case, you and the insurance company. You know, they didn't want to say, hey, can you do a voiceover for our company? And we'll just call it, you know, will you do a voiceover for our company and we'll give you more money for the, you know, we'll do this. There was no exchange. So it was just like, you got into an accident, they had to pay you, they paid you. That's it. What is there to feel guilty of? Where's the guilt?
subconscious. It's in my
Yeah, but
beliefs.
let's bring it to the conscious mind. What could you be guilty about?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Why should I be guilty? They're giving me something in exchange for something that happened, right?
Yeah. So if you could actually find something, if you were like, the reason I feel guilty is because, then at least you'd be somewhere, but you're like, there's nothing. So sometimes the best way to destroy a belief is actually just to question it.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to say, I am not guilty. I am grateful for this money. That's hard to do. Yeah. But to question it and say, why am I guilty for this money? That opens a pathway. I don't deserve money. Why? What have I done in my life that deserves to not have money? What have I done wrong in this lifetime? What have I done that would make it that I deserve a life of financial lack? What have I done? Can you think of something?
Nope.
So, well, there you go then. If you disprove it often enough, you may find all you need is to disprove it often enough and it will go. Why not? There's no reason. Let it go. So if we look at, there was an energetic exchange. You had been paying for insurance for how many years in your life? Many. So you have been paying this insurance company in case something happens for years. And not by choice, it's mandatory. You cannot drive without insurance. So you have been paying mandatory payments towards an insurance company to protect you in case something bad happens, and something happened. So all the money you've been paying energetically, the exchange of you protecting yourself, turned into a manifestation of money. Here, you're protected.
But that's what I was wondering about. Is it a manifestation? Because the check was already on its way to me. I didn't know, but I kept saying it. And I'm thinking, so is it a manifestation or is it just synchronicity? Or
okay, I love this question. So you don't know when the check was written. No. And again, remember, it's always, we're attracting the people. So someone wrote that check. Did they write it on a day where you were feeling like, I need a break? We don't know. And isn't it funny that the amount is in very, very close to what you were asking for, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question and you tell me what you think. I have family that lives in the UK. My mom is British. And I have had this month an amazing business month. And I was talking to my mom and she was crying because it's her sister's birthday. It was her sister's birthday on the 5th. And she sees her sister once in a while. My cousin just had 2 babies. We've never met them. And we used to be a very close family, but my aunt and her husband got separated and it's been a shit show ever since. And my grandmother died 2 years ago and she was the one who always made it happen for us to see each other. So we have like not been seeing half of my family and it's really hard for my mom. So I had this thought. It just came into my mind. I'm with my mom in the pool and I said, Mom, why don't I make it a goal for me to just bring them all here for New Year's 2020. I'll pay all the plane tickets and we'll rent a huge house in the Laurentians and we will just have a week together. I'll pay for the salaries, nothing missed. I'll pay for everything. And she was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So she's freaking out. She's like, well, how are we going to tell them? So we start thinking and I'm like, well, it's going to have to be next 2020. It's going to be a 20-year reunion. Last time we were all together, it was the year 2000. So we're going to do a 20-year reunion. Why don't we tell them on Christmas morning and we can do all these things? And my mom's like, oh my God, 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 oh my God. Yes, 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 yes. And then my mom says this to me. Do you realize their life just changed and they don't even know? So the person who wrote that check changed your life before you knew. That doesn't mean it's not a manifestation. Mm-hmm. They've been praying for something. I guarantee it. Things have been hard since my grandma died. My aunt's is without my uncle now. The kids aren't doing so well. It's not great. They have been asking for a miracle. We know this. Mm-hmm. So when they find out that they're coming, will it be a manifestation of their desires? I don't know what they've been wishing for. Probably. So their life has changed and they don't know. That is still a manifestation. So when someone wrote the check for you, it came somewhere. It came from somewhere. And isn't it just perfect that you received a manifestation of money, a miracle in the middle of a course that's meant to change your financial future because of your beliefs? So if you believe that life kind of happens for you, how funny that the perfect timing, it happened right in time for us to have this conversation so that you could be at the spotlight and share this, so we could look at this belief and disprove it so that things could change. This is a manifestation. You'd been asking for a mentor. You'd been asking for things to change. Everything came together for this moment to happen. That's a manifestation.
I know.
We've got to give credit to the universe sometimes.
I know.
Okay. So instead of, was this just synchronicity? You can say, I am so grateful that these events happened this way because this is the new beginning for me. So your job today is to create in the group whatever post you want to celebrate yourself about what happened. This is a divinely timed exchange of energy that happened at the perfect moment for your money patterns to change. There is nothing more perfect than what just happened here.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful.
Yes! I love you. You ladies are amazing. Honestly, like, I'm just like, keep it together, lady. Keep it together. Keep it together. All right. Sandra, you're amazing. All right. Let's have Nikisha share. And the reason I'm having so many shares right now is because I know your shares are changing it for other people. Your shares are making a huge difference for everybody. So this is an important part, okay? Let me just see who else wanted to change. Who else wanted to share? There was Nikisha, and then someone else had asked as well. Nikisha said, and then, amazing, I love you, thank you, love you. Oh shit, what, chills. I'm not sure who the other person was. If you had asked to share and I can't see you, just tell me. Hannah's like, pick me. I did. Okay, so let's have Nikki, and then we'll have Anna Marie, and then we'll move forward. All right, Nikisha.
All right. So at first I was like, I don't know what I want to be right about. And then I was like, what do I want to be right about? And so I listed some things, but this is one big overarching thing. It kind of just is the umbrella for all the other little things. And this is crazy. But I feel, even though I've experienced some transformations in my life in some areas, it's the integration that I don't believe that I'll be able to do. I want to prove myself right, that it's going to be hard to change into the person I need to be in order to be wildly successful and wealthy.
You know what the good news is? You've been doing a great job at being right about that. You're like a pro. You nailed it. You, like, literally, you decided you wanted to be right about that, and you have been nailing it. What is possible? That is such a big belief. It's like putting you in a cage. Like, there's,
and that's, sometimes I feel that way. Like, even though I've been successful in things, sometimes I feel just really caged.
No shit. With a belief like that, that is a really, like, that is the kind of belief where you're like a magician that enjoys tying itself up over a cage of piranhas, or a tank full of piranhas, dangling over with fire burning the thing, and you're just tied and you're just enjoying being tied up. Like, this is fun for me. Let's see how I can wiggle out of this one. But I can't because I believe that I
And
can't.
and you know what? That's what happens. It's like so I'm a Scorpio. I believe all that, right? And that might be an issue too. But I just believe even things sometimes can be going really great. And I feel like, ooh, subconsciously, I need a little drama in my life. And so I tear shit up. You know, that's what sometimes Scorpios do. We just raise it all the way down to the ground, just like a phoenix. We just want to rise from the ashes so we can get that
high.
Get that high.
You
And
know
so
what? The hardest change to make is the one from good to great. So you just keep making sure you're not good. If you just keep transitioning from mediocre to okay, mediocre to okay, mediocre to okay, and not stay okay long enough that you can go from okay to fabulous, because you can't go, the transition from like awful to fabulous takes everything you've got.
You gotta feel like it's taking everything I got.
But the thing is, you don't believe that you'll change. So you never let yourself go to excellent, but you do let yourself go from crap to okay. Crap to okay, you believe you can do, but you don't believe you can get great. And the hardest shift is from good to great. But you won't let yourself go to great. So you just keep going crappy to good, crappy to good, crappy to good, crappy to good. And you get addicted to the little high that comes between and but there's nothing long-term sustainable. It's just a leap between and okay, I'm good. It's like you're on the edge of a cliff and you just enjoy dangling over the edge and being pulled back.
Oh my gosh, that is so my life. I just like, my foot is like testing the edge all the time.
Mm-hmm. So what would you have to believe about your life in order to start going for something extraordinary? What would you have to believe?
That life is easy.
Mm-hmm.
That people easily integrate greatness. That I'm one of those people that found it very easy to integrate.
Okay. That is a huge shift. And sometimes having a shift that's too big is like wearing shoes that are too big for you.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you believed this? What if you believed that you were excellent at living through what you believe to be true? What if you believed that you were excellent at creating what you believe to be true?
No, explain. What do you...
So let's say, for example, you believe that becoming extraordinary is difficult or impossible.
Mm-hmm.
You've been proving that to be true. So could you believe that you're excellent at proving what you believe to be true?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm excellent at proving what I believe to be true. I'm excellent at that. So what do I want to believe is true?
That I am extraordinary, that I can be extraordinary, and it's easy, it's possible.
Okay. Do you think has it been easy to be doing what you've been doing these last little while? Has it been easy to struggle?
Easy to struggle?
Have you found this easy? The stress, the pain, the sadness, the heartbreak, the frustration, the money struggles, all the things, have you found that easy?
No.
So why does it need to be easy for you to change? It doesn't need to be easy. It just needs to be possible. You don't care about it being easy. You've been choosing the hard route.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
So this is another big mistake we make. We think we need it to be easy in order for it to be possible. That's not true. You're going through hard things every single day of your life. So if you're going to say it's hard to be angry and upset and it's hard to be magnificent, but whatever I choose to be true, I end up making true. So what do I want to believe? It's going to be hard either way.
Yeah.
There's going to be moments either way. But which moments do I want to navigate? The ones between I'm about to fall off a cliff, or the ones of I'm nervous and this is huge and oh my gosh. Because there's going to be fear and craziness either way. It's going to happen. It's not just a smooth ride, but you haven't been going through a smooth ride, have you?
No.
So you don't even need to believe it's easy. You just need to believe, why the heck am I choosing this hard path when the other hard path leads me somewhere good? If I'm going to be going through hell, I might as well be going through hell on the way to glory.
Yes.
So then things will start to change, and you might realize it's actually a lot easier to be successful than it is to be destitute, upset, mad, angry, fighting. But at first, you won't be able to believe that. Not at first. And unfortunately, when you try to believe something that you don't believe, your brain is just like, bullshit. And then that's when we've got the biggest problems. Because if your brain does not believe what you're telling it, it's not going to work. But if you tell your brain it is hard to succeed, that is true. But it is really hard to fail. And I have felt that over and over again. So if I'm going to put the work in either way, I might as well put it here.
Choose my hard.
Just pick your hard. Pick what you're going to work at. Work at having pain, or you're going to work at having joy. Shelly's like, oh, my brain. So our beliefs are so sneaky, because what we tend to believe is that what we've got to believe is the opposite. And that's why we can't unlock where we're stuck. It's not always the opposite you need to believe. Sometimes it's just a tiny little deviation of what you already believe. One word, like people are mean versus some people are mean. Because if you believe people are mean and you try to incorporate people are good, well, how about this asshole and that one 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 and that one? Doesn't work. But yeah, some people are mean. Well, that's got no charge now. Some people are mean, some people are good. What do I want to focus on?
Yeah.
You don't need to believe that it's easy. You just need to believe that it's more worth it to fight for that than to fight for what you're fighting for.
I love that.
Good. Thank you, Nikisha.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Love you. I see your messages.
Ladies are amazing. All right, let's have Anna Marie.
Hey guys. Hi. I don't know if you can. I can't see me. It's really early here, so this is why I'm pajama girl.
That's all right.
I didn't even look in the mirror. So hi. Sorry.
You're beautiful.
I was gonna ask. Okay, so I love Nikisha's share. It feels. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at the camera. Am I looking at you? Because I can't see my.
You're looking right at us.
So I love Nikisha's. It feels very familiar. I guess I'm integrating like everything you said because it answered a fair portion of what I want to ask. I guess it's sort of like, I think what's kind of humbling right now is I'm seeing how, like when you said that your beliefs magnetize people, who magnetize things you believe, who say them to you, who reflect them. That's what's been frustrating about lately. And the reason I wanted to get up and ask is just because I feel like I'm really making a lot of effort to look at my beliefs, but I think sometimes they're just so personal. Like when I'm sorry, I believe it was $5,000 check. That was
Sandra.
Who was it? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting.
Sandra.
That was amazing. That was amazing. And I was watching that and I was going, well, that's quite specific to her with her dad. So I guess I'm trying to discover mine. But I guess it's just it's this general, what I wrote that I was kept trying to prove. And I noticed it with I talk about family a lot. I notice it with like family dynamics. I notice it with like my relationships sometimes. I notice it with the people I attract. It's that like it's so funny because this comes up, like you said, when you state it's opposite, because you guys heard me. It was like life supports everything you could ever want, need, and desire. And like, I love money. And I do feel that on some level, like that really wasn't made up. Like I have this experience with money that's improved to the point where, yeah, like I'm not moving massive amounts, but it does just like show up for me. But I found that it showed up.
Yeah. What's the belief that doesn't work?
Life and money doesn't support my true self. So it shows up for me when I do what other people want, or it shows up for me, like I'll manifest a large amount of money when I work hard and work on a deck. Like I was like working on a deck and made like $1,900 in 3 days. But like, I'm feeling like life doesn't support my true self. So I can manifest money that way, but like what what I'm getting reflected back a little bit from my mom is like, well, you could have everything you want if you just went and got a job and did something you maybe didn't want to do. Then you could have everything you want. And she just keeps repeating, and I'm just like make it stop, because I manifested like, you know, a fair amount of money pretty quickly in my business. And then I was like trying to celebrate it, but I felt like I couldn't keep celebrating it because it kind of dropped off and I got scared. And so it's basically that life and money don't support my true self and what I really want. Like, it's just kind of, it has to come through like a sideways avenue that like I have to be, and I was talking about that in the group, it has to be hard, I have to prove it, and it has to be kind of manly. Like, honestly, those things are coming up. Or it has to, I mean, so I'm just trying to like, I'm trying to find this because it's invisible. Go ahead.
Okay. When you were little,
it feels elusive.
I understand. When you were little, who impressed you the most, your mom or your dad?
I mean, I'd say my dad. Probably my dad. Yeah. Yeah.
So when we're little, we have admiration most for one of our parents, and the energy that they have tends to be the energy that we believe is the winning energy in life. Mm-hmm. So he had a masculine energy. He's the man. So what you believe to work for you is when you're in your masculine energy, but your business is all about feminine flow.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And not just feminine. I mean, they're just polar opposites. And he talked, like, he would say things like, you don't know how many days I woke up at 4 a.m. to work, you know what I mean? Or I would wake up in the middle of the night. He almost had a heart attack. He had to quit. I mean, it's like really polar opposite. And I appreciate it, but I think I've had to say to him many times, I still appreciate everything you did for me, but like, I don't believe like pain is love. Therefore, like, if I'm not in pain to show you love, like, I still love you. Like, I've physically said that, because that dynamic just feels like that's the way, like, that's the way things are. And if you don't want to sacrifice your body and your time and your life, then you're just not going to make.
So do you think you could believe that there are many ways to make money? Feels like we got stuck here for a second.
Yeah, because I see them all the time, and I've done a lot of different things. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what you're fighting against right now is this is not the only way. The issue is the universe doesn't hear not. Mm-hmm. The universe doesn't hear negation. So when you're saying this is not the only way, the universe hears this is the only way. Mm-hmm. So instead of saying this is not the only way, there's got to be another way, you know, instead of, there are many ways to make money. Mm-hmm. This is one way that I'm good at. The fact that you're able to make money multiple ways is fabulous. But when you say, because I can make money this way, it means I can't make money the other way, you make it in the universe, and the universe says, yes. We live in a yes universe. It doesn't hear negation, and it always says yes. So
what I find strange is, yeah, sorry.
Tell me.
Like, why would, like, I guess I just found it really fascinating. Like, why would I prove myself? Like, why would I like prove my beliefs I want, right? And then have I guess maybe it's just it's old patterning, but the influx of all the old come back, and it doesn't have to be true, but then it seems true. It's just taking a lot of like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's not that I don't see evidence that I've created literally the opposite. It's just that there's maybe a belief that it's not safe.
So this is exactly what we're going to move into next. You're like right there. This is what we're going to move into next. But what I want you to just keep in mind during all this is that the fact that you were able to make it happen automatically means it can. It automatically means it can. So if you can just stay focused on that and say, the fact that it happens means it can, and I'm going to figure out what's next. Because right now your question is, why is it that it worked and then my old patterns came back?
Okay. And in multiple experiences.
Oh, she's gone. She's gone. All right, so let's see here. We've got, I definitely connected this Anna Marie. Oh shit, big. I admired my dad, living my masculine, but my mother took care of the money. She was so mean and narcissistic. I hated her. I am blocking money then because of her. And it's not because of her, but it's because of your perception of her and your need to not be like her. Because it's never because of someone. It's because of our perception of them and our need to not be like them. Whitney says, because there's still fear. Yes. So where we're going to go now, what we're going to move into is, what do we do from this place? Melissa said, I just manifesting getting more money, and I just got paid from one of the guys I work for, and he always forgets to pay me. Yes! Money. I love it. So here's the thing. The way I see manifestation is that sometimes it happens effortlessly. And sometimes you may have to prove it. It's not always effortless. Sometimes you do need to prove it. So what happens is that a lot of times in life, love you, Lisa. A lot of times in life, when something bad happens, we have the thought it shouldn't be hard. Or if this is hard, it's because it's not meant to work for me. Or this must be a sign from the universe, because if it were meant to be this hard, if it wasn't meant to be this hard, then when it happened to me, it should be effortless, it'd be easy, blah, blah. Sometimes it's hard. Whitney says, my parents got divorced when I was 7, and the child support was used as a tool against my older brother and I. When my dad remarried, he still was in the military and there wasn't a lot of money. I always heard, you have to work hard and we can't afford this, or we don't have money. So where did our parents get their money blueprint? Probably from their parents. And where did their parents get their money blueprint? Probably from their parents. And personal development has never been stronger than it is now. And there's a reason for that. So we cannot be angry at people who just didn't have the tools. If they didn't know, they didn't know. That's it. Now we know, what are we going to do about it? Because the biggest tragedy would be if we know and we don't do anything about it. That's when things become difficult. But there's webinars and podcasts and Facebook Lives. Like, it has never been so easy to receive information on how to remain positive, ever. It has never been this easy. You can get it for free. Like before it had been, you'd have to go out of your way and buy tapes. You'd have to go out of your way to go to a seminar. There is no, I'm sitting in my living room on my computer while someone changes my money blueprint. That does not exist back then. So we have to embrace what we have available to us and give forgiveness for what they didn't know. Shelley says, everything seems to have been so hard for me to achieve. Is this because my beliefs and not my environment I grew up in? So it can be both. You may believe things are, that money comes difficult. You may believe money is hard to make. And one of the reasons that proves that money is hard to make is if you watched your dad have 3 jobs and he was never there. When he was there, he was exhausted and angry because he'd been at work for all this time. And don't bother dad. He hasn't slept in 2 days, and don't bother. And we can't have that. And we don't, they're always working, but they're always broke. How can you believe money is effortless and abundant when your parents are always working and always broke? It shows you a specific way of being. And we live with our parents for a long time. Some people, I know, maybe you left your home when you were 15, 16, but that's still 15, 16 years of the first beginning of your conditioning, all being the same exact way over and over and over and over and over again. Before you ever learned to make $1, you learned how to make $1. And the way you learned how to make $1 was the way your parents did. So if the way they made money was, in any way, shape, or form, limiting, exhausting, difficult, and still there wasn't enough, how can you possibly expect to have just come out with a different blueprint? The only thing is, for some people, and I believe like the old soul, for some people, they're like, I've got to find out another way so that this happens to me. There are people who have that thought. For some reason, there's got to be something, another way. Some people have that thought. Most people don't. They're taught to walk and talk and think without questioning. They're also taught money without questioning. There is not much of a difference. This is the thing. It's why this course is so important, because there isn't much of a difference between what you're doing and what a successful person is doing. You're both posting on Facebook. You're both doing Facebook Lives. You're both speaking to clients on the phone. You're both doing consultations. You're both doing the same line of work. You're both doing network marketing. You're both doing real estate. You're both doing home decor. You're both doing whatever it is that you're doing. And still one's successful and one's not. Why? It's not about what we do. And it gets so frustrating when you believe that it's what you're doing that's wrong, because it's not. Why doesn't it work for me and it works for them? When you're an actress or a singer and you watch someone on Hollywood less talented than you and you're like, how is this happening? She's not even acting properly. I can see it. Like, this is the worst acting. I could have done this role so much better. Oh my gosh, this is the most frustrating thing in the entire world. Why does this person have the role? They would have just given me the role. I'd be killing it. What the heck is happening? Why? When you hear an artist, a new artist come out with a voice and you're like, I could have performed this song better if I'd have just gotten the chance. Why didn't I get the chance? What was missing? What is missing in who I am that I didn't make it there? It's not about what you're doing. And I know we want to believe it is. We want to believe it's about what we're doing so badly, because if it's about what we're doing, it's easy to change. Just do this, This is the one key to success. Close your eyes, count to 10 backwards, do a pyramid with your hands, sing la 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 la, and then abundance will come. Can you imagine? How amazing that would be? Like, go outside when it's raining, light a candle, dance, lift one leg in the air and say, woo, and then money will come. If that was it, if it were post on social media at exactly 11:03, write this exact sentence, blah, 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 blah. Put a crystal in your bra, dance the Macarena, boom, that's it. That's how it works. Tell your life story in this exact structure. Open your computer, tell your life story in this exact structure. Save the video, put the video on a pink background, this exact shade. Write this, put this logo at the bottom of it, send it at exactly 12:05. Success. Wouldn't that be great? But it's not. And this is why you may be looking at people doing things and you try it and you're just like, why didn't it work for me if it worked for them? Sandra said, I just realized because I don't celebrate myself, there's no pleasure. How can anyone else get pleasure watching me? I just got chills up to my nose, actually, when I read that. That if this is all about feeling good, if this whole life is all about feeling good, and people have the power to do that, we feel good around them or we feel bad around them, then a happy person is like a magnet. A person who experiences joy, who celebrates, who enjoys, who laughs, who smiles, is someone I'm automatically pulled to. Because I feel good when I'm with you is the best thing you can ever be for someone. Even in relationships, you don't fall in love with him. You fall in love with how you feel about yourself when you're with him. When you meet a new friend, you feel good about yourself when you're with her. It's all about how I feel when I'm with you. If you don't like who you are and your vibes all shut off, how am I going to feel good? How am I going to have pleasure if you're not experiencing it? Even in sex, like, can you imagine having sex with a guy who was not enjoying it? Like, yeah, seriously. There would be no part. Kissing a guy who's not enjoying kissing you? No? Having sex with a guy and he's just like, oh God, make this end. You'd be like, it'd be over right away. The whole point of it is there's pleasure together. Can you imagine like being with a friend and being like, let's have an amazing night and just laugh all night. And then the friend, every joke you tell, he's just like, that wasn't funny. Rain check on the laughing night. But when everything you say, she laughs, and everything she says, you laugh, you're having the time of your life. It's all about, I feel good about myself when I'm with you. Carla says, thanks so much for your shares. They're a sparkling point for me. Ooh, Shelly says, Whitney, like saying to yourself, it's to celebrate, not to brag, make someone else feel less. Mary says, I had a huge realization about a limiting belief about money, success, and relationships. If you have space to share, I'd like to ask a question. Absolutely. Let me just answer these questions and we'll take you right on. Celebrating is completely different than you bragging. Oh, yeah. So let's see. There was a couple of other things. What is missing in who I am that didn't make it there? Yes. When I was in 11th grade, I went out of state for a summer program with $50 my mom gave me. I used the $50 to buy Liz Claiborne jean shorts. And when I called my mom for more money, she went ballistic and hung up on me. That made me feel irresponsible with money. And since I have made great incomes, but I'd send it out as soon as I was getting it in. This is wiring in your brain. And as you wired that, you can wire something else. Honestly, you can. This is a child with a defense mechanism. I'm not good with money, so this is what I'll do with it. Whenever I get it, I'll just do this. Becca says, this is mind blowing, Melanie. This is my blueprint I grew up with. Everything seems to have been hard for me. Okay, Whitney says, my parents got divorced. Yeah, we got that one. So I'm good with all the reading. Let's see. Okay, so let's have Mary on for her question. Tell me, Mary.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question about manifesting. So I've been thinking that I'm a great manifester. I manifested a fiance, my perfect ring, my wedding dress, an engagement. I manifested money, so many things. So when I was trying to write my list of manifesting my soulmate, I said I want somebody successful, somebody that embodied all the qualities that I wanted in a man and how I wanted to feel. So I attracted someone who was a CPA. He was very successful, but then he quit his job. So that's my ex. And then the reason why I ended the engagement is because he likes men. He's bisexual. So I had to end it, right? So anyway, so this morning, a gorgeous guy added me on Facebook. Like he went to UPW. I looked at his profile. I was like, oh my God, like successful. He was so hot. He was so luxurious, always in suits, like gorgeous. I was like, oh my God. Immediately my head went, who would I have to be in order for me to attract him and to be at the same mindset and energy? Because this is someone that I would want to have a relationship with. And then I just went into fear because I'm like, well, I'm not successful right now. That's also why I attracted my ex, because he was at the same level than me, right? And then I'm like, I'm not making the money that I want. Like, how on earth am I going to attract this guy? And then I went into my limiting beliefs, like, oh my God, I'm never going to be successful. I'm never going to make the money that I want. And I just went into this panic fear mode this morning. And I noticed that I shy away from interacting with successful people because I feel inferior. And now this is blocking money coming my way. This is blocking me being successful. And I want to get rid of that. And I don't even know how to start. And every day I write in my journal, I'm so happy and I'm so grateful. I'm successful. I'm a multiple six-figure. But then I'm thinking this and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like contradicting what the hell I want. Like, how on earth do I get rid of this? How do I start? Right?
Okay. This is an amazing share, by the way.
Yeah.
This is amazing. So the first thing I will say is this. Men don't always have on their list, I want my woman to be rich. Women have that because we're looking for a sense of security, and it is something that is it's something that we have because if you ever want to have babies, if you want to ever have, you need to feel taken care of. That's a feeling that we're often looking for as women. Men, they want to be the provider. So they're not looking necessarily for a woman who's rich, but they're looking for a woman who's emotionally intelligent, who's grateful, who's happy, who's going to make him happy, who's going to make him excited, who's going to make him a better man. He's more excited about that than you being rich, unless he's broke. Now, if he's broke, he won't necessarily need you to be rich either, but he's going to need you to have very low standards. So if you have high standards, you better have the money. This is where, broke men, unfortunately, it's the hardest thing for them. They don't want to feel like they're disappointing you. They can't handle that. So it's either got to be accept me as I am with no money, or you make the money so we never miss out, but don't expect me to make more because this is my situation. Don't fall in love with me and then ask me to be rich. Don't do that. I can't handle that. I'm not rich. But a wealthy man doesn't necessarily need a wealthy woman, but he needs a woman that feels like a vibrational equivalent. And money is just energy. So you can have energy in other areas that aren't money and still attract the guy you want. I'm going to give you an example. My little sister has a party vibe that's like I've never seen before. When we went to Mykonos together, and I'm not the party type at all. I didn't even think we were going to go out. I didn't, because it's not even in my thoughts. But we get there and she's like, tonight's the night, we've got to go out. We've got to go out at least once. And I was like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? Like, I don't like that stuff. And she's like, please, we're going to have so much fun. And she loves it. She's so excited. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay. So we walk into this place and she's like, you don't understand. Like, I am going to find the coolest people in this bar and we are going to spend nothing on drinks, nothing on anything all night. And we're going to have the craziest night. I have a radar for these things. I'm just like, we don't need to do that. Like, I have money. It's okay. Just don't do that. She was like, no, you don't understand. If we find the right people, they'll know where to take us. They'll know where, like, I'm going to find the coolest people. So within 3 seconds, she spots people. She's like, come with me. So we start talking to these people. They're all business people. One lives in Dubai. The other one lives in Paris. We start talking. It is nothing. They're not flirting with us. They're not being inappropriate at all. We're laughing. We're having the funnest time. These are great people. Next thing, they're like, we're going to XYZ club in Mykonos, the one place that we were told was, I think it was something like $500 a ticket to go that weekend. And they were like, we got you. Don't worry about it. We did not spend one thing all night. We went in front of the lineup. There was a huge lineup. We went in front of everybody. I never would have manifested that. It would not, because I wouldn't have even gone to the freaking bar. Never mind talk to these people. None of this would have happened. But my sister has a radar. She saw them. She went in with her vibe. The way she was, I was just looking at her in action. And what it was these guys wanted to be with the vibe. Like, we were making the night better. Like, and not because she was flirting. She wasn't being inappropriate. Like, she was just fun. And what happened is people with money want to have fun. And all of a sudden she was making the party better. So she just made the party better. She has no money. She's broke as a joke. She went to the Bahamas. The whole thing happened to her in the Bahamas. She's just like that. And nobody feels like, oh, Shannon's taking advantage of us because, we've got the money. She brings the vibe. People, literally, she had to come back for something and they were like, we're going to pay for you to stay. We are still partying for a whole weekend. You've got to stay with us. She's got the good vibes. People just want to be with her. Doesn't matter that she's broke. People will pay to spend time with her because she brings the party. So if you attract a man in your life that's got a lot of money, he doesn't care that you have a lot of money. What he wants is to be happy in his life. What does he need you to make money for if he makes loads of money? He doesn't. He just wants to be happy. And he doesn't want to be taken advantage of. So if he feels like you're sly and you're only with him for the money, that feels bad. He'll feel bad. He won't want to be with you. But if he falls for you because you're funny and you're happy and you feel good and you've got the best vibes, and when he's with you, he feels like a better man. He feels like everything is better. You think he cares that you don't make money? He will literally he'll give you the moon if he feels good around you. This is what it is. People just want to feel good around you. That's all. They want to feel good around you. That's it. If people feel good around you, you win. If people feel good buying from you, they'll buy. If people feel good being your friend, they'll be your friend. If people feel good dating you, they'll date you. It's not rocket science. They just want to feel good. People want to feel good. And if you're one of the reasons they feel good, they're going to keep you around. In relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, family. When you're fighting with your family, it's because your family doesn't feel good around you. When you're all woo-woo and they're all not, it doesn't feel good to be around you because you believe something different than them. It's not because you're bad or wrong. It's just because they feel wrong, which makes them feel bad. That's all. When you meet a guy and he feels not good enough and he feels bad around you, he doesn't want to be with you. Why? I feel like I repel men. Men don't men don't want to be with me. It's like I intimidate them. No, it's because they know without a shadow of a doubt that they will never be good enough to give you the life you want, and they feel this big. Why would you pursue a man who knows he'll never give you what you want? If a man feels bad around you, it's because he knows he's not good enough for you. Do not pursue that man. Women do this all the time. I don't want him to feel bad around me. I want him to feel good around me. I'll listen to my standards. Don't do that. If a woman doesn't feel good around you, maybe because you're doing better than her and she hasn't figured out the whole jealousy thing, it's not because of you. It's because when she's around you, she feels less than. She feels not as pretty. She feels not as rich, not as successful. It's not about you. She just feels bad about herself when she's with you. That's it. That's all. That's all. That's all that's happening. It's never about us. People don't not like us. They don't like how they feel about themselves when they're with us. You can't control that unless you try to change yourself to make someone else feel comfortable. And then there's a saying, never dim your light to make someone else comfortable. Like that's not, we don't do that. You've got to be okay with some people are not going to like that. How many times in your life have you heard people say, oh, that girl, she's so snooty. She's like super rich and blah, blah, blah. Is she snooty or is she just rich? Because if you're not rich and she's rich, that would automatically make you feel bad. There's people who define people like she is snooty is different than she is rich. Oh, she can just buy whatever she wants. When did that become a bad thing exactly? Because that's what we want, to buy whatever we want. How can you want something and be repulsed by it at the same time? Because you're repulsed. If you're repulsed by it, then it explains why you don't have it. Just so you know. If girls who are perfect, like the perfect body, the perfect hair, they piss you off and you wonder why your body isn't changing. If people who are rich annoy you and they piss you off and you're wondering why your bank account isn't growing, this is the big mistake we make. We want things so bad. We want the things, but we're pushing them away all the time by hating them. Doesn't work. So what you hate, and this is another issue, and people ask me this sometimes, they're like, can someone else manifest things for you? Like if I pray for someone, can they change? Can people receive a manifestation that you send to them? Does that work? Here's what I believe. If you're an energetic match for what they're sending your way, yes. Meaning, if you are positive and you believe and you're this and you're that, and someone sends you good vibes, you will attract them. If you're feeling hate, guilt, anger towards someone and someone sends you bad vibes, you will receive those. This is like the law of karma. When you become a transponder for someone else's vibes, you catch them. So when you're in good vibes, you're also able to attract good vibes from other people. I'm sending you healing vibes. I'm sending you love vibes. I'm sending you money vibes. If your transponder is, I hate men, money doesn't come to me easily, blah, 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 you're never going to get the vibes. If someone's in their house brewing about you because you did something not very nice and you're sending hate to the person and anger and all these things, you're going to get the wrath of whatever they're sending. So our energy is so important. Your vibe is just all there is. If people don't like you, don't not like them back. Just see there's something I do that makes them feel bad about themselves. Check in with yourself. Did I do something mean? Did I do something bad? Is there something to take responsibility for? If there is, then I'll take responsibility. If there isn't, then it's just who I am that makes that person feel bad. I'm sending love. That's it. So Mary, if you look at what's possible for you right now, if you look at this man, one of the reasons we stress so much with manifestation is when we've got a deadline. So for example, you're super positive long-term, then you see this one guy that writes to you on Messenger or that adds you on Facebook. And then this one guy is this one guy. And it's like, am I ready now? Do I have what it takes now? No, I don't. Oh my gosh, I never will. Because everything just got in a hurry. It's when we don't think we can change right now that our vibes get the worst. Because if you were to say, I believe that one day I can attract the man of my dreams, I'll be able to make money, he will make money. I believe all that. But when the guy shows up today, I'm not ready. Send him back. Send him back. I'm not ready. Oh shit. No. And then there's fear. What if you send him back and then when he comes next time, I'm still not ready. Oh my gosh, what if this never happens? Oh. This is all pressure that we put on ourselves. Send him back. It's all pressure we put on ourselves to get the result now. But if you let go of that, and it's not about getting the result now, it's just about achieving it, what you could see is that that guy is a sign of what you truly want, and your response to what's lacking is just an answer of what you need to focus on. I don't feel good about myself yet because that guy makes me realize I haven't hit my financial goals yet. I must hit my financial goals. It's not about he won't want me because I haven't hit my financial goals. It's I immediately feel bad about myself around him because I haven't hit my financial goals. You can't put people, a lot of people will say, I feel bad about myself because he's rich. That's not why you feel bad about yourself. You feel bad about yourself because you realized that if you wanted to be with him, you believe that you should be rich and you are not yet. That's why. It has nothing to do with him. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't said, I can't be with you because you're not rich enough. He hasn't said, I'm not going to be with you because you're not pretty enough. He hasn't said, I'm not going to be with you because you're not thin enough. But in our head, we say, I said I wasn't going to date until I lost 10 pounds. I said I wasn't going to date until I had this. I said I wasn't going to date until I had that. It's all ruined. I should have done it faster. I should have done it. See, now it's too late. And that's where we go into the crazy vibes. So that guy is not your soulmate or not your soulmate. He's just someone who was drawn into you through your energetic desires. And you had a feeling around him that was not, oh my gosh, this guy's perfect for me. It was, oh my gosh, I don't feel good enough to be with this guy yet. That's an opportunity to become aware of where you are. It's an opportunity. So what we're going to do is I am going to give everybody 10 minutes to pee, to, get yourselves back in order. When you get back to your seat, start looking at your beliefs that you wrote down and look at what are some different beliefs you can have. Just start looking at it. That's going to be your homework tonight, but still, when you get back from your little break, who needs to pee? I can see it. Some people's eyes are turning yellow. I think people need to pee. But you're just be looking at your notes and be like, just think about it while you're peeing. Just be like, what beliefs do I have to change what beliefs I need to change while I pee? Okay. I manifested this break. That's amazing. So enjoy your break. I will see you in 10 minutes. One more minute. We will resume. Yes, of course, Courtney.
Okay, I just had to share.
Do it.
I just booked a one-on-one consultation for a coaching call. This is my first one ever.
I'm so proud of you. How do you feel? How do you feel?
So really good, just really good. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna send her the link.
Yes.
This just all happened in our 10-minute break.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so happy right now. Okay, this is great. This is great.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. Look, this is what I'm saying. When I say it is not about what we do, it is who we are when we do it. When you're in this vibe, when you're feeling good, when you're doing the work on yourself, when you have integrity and you're doing it, the vibes that come out of you are different. Courtney, I'm so excited. Holy crap. I'm so excited. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm so excited. Okay, this is amazing. Carla's like, I need tissues. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're officially back from break. That was an amazing way to bring the break back. Angela's like, I still have no idea what just happened. Courtney just signed her first consultation for one-on-one clients ever. So excited. All right. So here's the thing. Self-love, and it's a paid consultation. Like, she's buying a consultation for coaching. This is so big, so huge, so amazing. I'm so proud of you. Oh my God. This is so awesome. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. This is so good. So here's the thing. Self-love is like our energetic price tag. How much you are able to find love, compassion, patience, admiration, you name it, for yourself, the more other people can find it for you as well. People don't question price tags unless they question their own. So when you give yourself a value, people will take that for face value. You know yourself better than anyone else. So if you think you're not worth much, who am I to disagree with you? Unless I'm a person who constantly undercuts myself, and I know that I would wish that people would see me more as I see myself, then I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Then I will love you more than you're telling me I should, because deep down in my heart, I wish other people loved me more than I think I should be loved. But normal, like stable, emotional people who don't hurt themselves and destroy themselves, when they see your price tag, they believe you. This is why self-love is so important, because the way you love yourself starts the energetic transponder. You say, this is how I feel about myself, and the universe says yes. You say, this is who I am, the universe says yes. You say, this is what I'm capable of, the universe says yes. You say, this is how much I'm lovable, the universe says yes. Anne-Marie says, I can't even believe this. I was creating my desires with an underlying feeling of being ashamed of being a woman. Anne-Marie, I want you to do femme fatale so bad right now. Holy crap. Being a woman is our greatest gift. Like, our greatest gift is being a woman. It is the best thing about us. Women are literally the gateway to the universe. Like, we are so magic. There are things about us. Yes, the cart is still open for Femme Fatale. It starts on September 2nd. So anybody who has any woman worthiness stuff, please, I'm telling you, this is the one thing. You have got to love being a woman. You have got to see the beauty in that. It is a gift beyond a gift that we are women. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. Yes, you can still sign up. Message me after if you want to, and I'll give you the link. This is, oh my gosh, there's so many messages coming through. I'm just like, whoa. This is something that you cannot live with the shame of being a woman. Being a woman is so magical because you get to do things as a woman that men can't. We have more freedom as women, as men, than men do right now. We have more freedom to feel. We have more freedom to love. We have more freedom to bond. Two men who hug, they're gay. Two men who say, I love you, the hell's wrong with you? Two men who sit crying and telling each other it's going to be okay, they're wimps. We have more freedom for growth and self-expression than men do right now. It is a privilege and an honor to be a woman, and we are shaping the way in a major way. And when we know who to be as a woman and how to be a woman, we make our men better men. Women are actually paving the way for emotional intelligence right now. You own your womanliness with everything you've got because it is the biggest gift we've ever had. Anne-Marie says, the women in my family didn't make money. They were very abused, only were in specific roles, or turned meaner than men to fight for what they want. And I'm still transforming, knowing what feels good isn't shameful. It's just not common here. That is huge. Look, this is the thing. If you've been surrounded with women out of power, you don't know your own. And when I learned the things that I teach in Femme Fatale, the biggest thing I got was, how did I live my life so far without knowing what I know now? And thank God that I know now what I know so that I can change my life now. And women who've taken that program, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, have told me, I don't know how I made it this far not knowing this information. I wish this was something that was taught at an early age. It is we need to know this. But a woman who doesn't know can't teach it. That's the problem. Margot says, I think that it's blocking me from wealth as the message that women don't make money. They find rich husbands. That is something that used to be the truth. And one, women, you got to find yourself a rich husband, or if you're lucky, you're going to find a wealthy man. That's not the case anymore. And one of the biggest ways that it's not the case anymore is, it used to be women need to stay home and be with the kids. You can still do that and be a millionaire from your house in your underpants. You don't even need to wear pants. Yes. You can be a millionaire in your knickers. The only place people see is this. Anyway, knickers. Why wear pants when you can be rich in your knickers? This is the most fun thing. My next group title, make money in your knickers. This is the fun thing about being a woman, is you now have the divine right to do everything that's meant to be womanly. Millionaires in knickers. I love it. You now have the divine right to do all your womanly things and be exponentially wealthy while doing it. Wow. This is the thing, men are supposed to go out and work. It's actually harder for a man to break this paradigm than it is for a woman. They're meant to put a suit on and go out there. Or they're meant to put their construction boots and go out there. All we need to shift is from not working to receiving money. They need to shift from how they work. It's a harder shift for men than it is for us. Honestly, it is. When you get this, Sharon's like, Melanie, I never saw the lower part of your body. Maybe I'm just in knickers all the time. That's loaded. What is that? I have the divine right to do everything I desire and be well compensated for it. And Kelly says, holy shit, I took inspiration from Courtney's amazing good news, so I decided to check my email, which I don't do on the weekend normally. I just got an email from a client, thought I lost, saying, we would like to work with you and still sign the contract today. Do you take credit cards? And it's a sizable job. The fee actually made me nervous to even put out there. Oh my gosh. Kelly, this is so great. How do you feel? I'm so excited. This is magic. This is the thing. You get in a good vibe Celebrating in my underwear. This is the good vibes. It makes things happen. You don't need to work hard, but you can. You can if you want. But you don't have to. You can do it all. You can have it all. Magic. It just happens. And then Kelly could say, is it synchronicity? Did they know they were going to do that before this training? Who knows? Maybe they did. Maybe the vibe changed everything. Who knows? Kelly, thank you for telling us and celebrating with us. I'm so happy. See, this is what happens when you, and also who cares, right? It happened. We celebrate it. That's it. Just flow. So all the people celebrating Kelly, this is fabulous. I was so uncomfortable saying it. That's why I repeated it. Yes. You're probably always stickers. I never want to start leaning, but now I don't want to stop. I never want to start leaning, but I don't want to stop leaning, but learning about myself. Yes. In my culture, that's the expectation. Not for me. Exactly. So you are a woman. You are a receiving magnet. Women are receivers. Even like in the way our bodies are made, we are the receivers. There's the giver. And there's the receiver. In all the areas, we are the receiver, always. So in life, you don't need to work super hard. You don't need to do all the hustle all the time. But you can. There's a book called Pussy. Yeah, there's a book called Pussy, the Reclamation. You're a receiver. You're actually meant to receive. This is what you're meant to do. You're meant to receive. You're meant to receive. That is your job as a woman, is to be an excellent receiver. Yet, what do? We give. We give, we give, we give, we give, we give, we give, we hustle. You can. You don't need to. Your job is to become an excellent receiver. When you are an excellent receiver, people want to give to you. Do you have someone in your life that you just love to give to? Like your favorite person to give to? Write in the comments your perfect person to give to. Yes, Sandra Lee. Your niece, the kids, your kids, because they get so excited. Think about it. Your favorite person to give to, why is it your favorite person? Becca says, my husband, my daughter, my mom. Why is it the perfect person? A person in need, my daughter, my kids and boyfriend. Why? What's the reason? Because she gets so excited and happy and I love to see her smile. Because when you give a gift to someone and they really are amazing receivers, you just want to give more. They light up. You give someone a gift and they're like, ah! You're like, what else can I give you? Do you want my shirt? Do you want, like, I think I might have a dollar somewhere I can give you. Like, what else can I give you? My nona? Why do we love to give? Because they freak out. And in that moment, it's just like, I want to give you all the things. And they're so happy and they love you. And they're like, this is the best thing in the world. We love to make people feel happy. So how do you act when people try to give you things? Who here has the crappy habit of going, no, you shouldn't have. No, please don't. Please, you don't need to do that. Well, how do you act when someone tries to buy you lunch? It's on me. No, you can't do that. Please, I refuse. No. Actually, let me pay. You wanted to pay for me? Let me just pay for everything instead. No, you can't. You can't pay. Oh my gosh, no, please don't. I'll be so embarrassed. Please don't. You don't need to do that. Hello. So you've become the person people like to give to least. Shit. Your goal is to be an excellent receiver. The goal, Shelly says, that used to be me all the time, and Femme Fatale forever changed this. That is amazing. This is what happens with the universe. How you do one thing is how you do most things / everything. If you're a terrible receiver with a person, how can you expect the universe to go into overdrive and say, yeah, it's because she's humble with people, but I'm gonna give her everything. No, they go, she doesn't feel comfortable receiving off. Melissa says, as a coach, clients freaking give so much, and I've been learning to just allow myself to take it in and receive. Excellent receivers receive. What is it called when money gets delivered into your bank account? Receive money, receive payment, receive client, receive testimonial. Your goal is to become the world's best receiver. If you cannot receive receive properly is what I wanted to say. If you can't receive properly, then you won't. Because how you receive one thing is how you receive most things. Lindsay says, I feel like I should really earn it before I should receive. So, Lindsay, who's your favorite person to give to? When you've got money and you think, you know, you want to buy something for someone, who's the first person who comes into your head? Your close friends. What have they done to deserve it? They existed. Oh my goodness, that is some hard work. I'm pretty sure looking at you from here that you probably exist too. We make it so hard on ourselves. Make it so hard on ourselves. What if you're loved just because you are? What if it's not about what you do? Where did deserving ever come from? The only place deserving comes is if you've done something so bad it takes the deserving away. Then you need to restore balance, apologize, forgive, do what you've got to do, and again, you're deserving. It is not about doing something to become deserving. You are deserving. It's what you do to get to take the deserving away. You're born deserving. Tell me one baby that's born not deserving of a beautiful life. Every baby that's born is deserving of a beautiful life. So the only reason that you're not deserving of a beautiful life is you believe you've done something between birth and now that took away your deserving. What have you done? And does it define an entire life, or could you take a second and look at it and let it go? Or will you find actually nothing at all? It's not like you're born and someone's like, okay, tap dance. Nope, can't do that. Sing. No, can't do that either. Speak another language. No, can't do that. Well, this one's broken. This one's not deserving. You're just born. You're born. You're deserving of love, of abundance, of an amazing future. The minute you're born, there are so many people that look at you and imagine what you'll be able to do, what you're capable of. Every love, you're so loved. The minute you're born, the people who bring you into this world, the nurses, they love you. They're just like, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful baby. Perfect, pure life. That's all it is. So what have you done between birth and now that took your deserving away? Can you actually think of something? And if you can you try to make it right? And then let it go? Or is there just nothing at all? And Sandra Lee says, having a child with Down syndrome made me realize that everybody's deserving. Like, everyone is just deserving. So what have you done between birth and now that makes you undeserving? Is there anything even? Margot says, there's a guy who loves giving me a big package of gifts because I jump up and down and squeal like a kid. Of course. This is the thing we love to give. We love to give because we love the reaction. If you want to find a man in a relationship that wants to give to you, be a better receiver. If you want to find a friend that gives to you, be a better receiver. If you want your kids to give to you, be a better receiver. It's not about people are selfish. And actually it is, but we're also selfish. We give not selflessly. We give because we love the reaction. If you don't give people a reaction, if you don't feel grateful and happy, if they're not making your day, why would they do it? Carly bought me stuff last night. I get irritated when people block my giving. Of course. When you want to give something and someone's like, no, you're like, you're ruining the gift. Just shut up. Be happy, please. But then it's our turn and we're like, no, as if that's enlightened or humble or something. Even compliments people have a hard time receiving. I love what you're wearing. Oh my God, I've had it for 10 years. Have you done something new to your hair? No, oh my gosh, it stinks. Actually, I haven't washed it in like a month. Is that a new hair color? No, it's just what my hair looks like when I don't wash it for a while. It's quite awful. I love your makeup. Oh, this old shade, I've been using the same makeup. I really should learn how to do my makeup. It's actually terrible. I did it in the car. This is actually yesterday's makeup. Can't take a compliment. Shelly says, that used to be me all the time. Pentel changed my life. I feel like I have to really earn it before I should receive. How do you recommend shifting this when you shift into greater receiving, but keep receiving from people that are like pissed that they're not receiving? It feels so off. You got to let that go. When people give to you and they're pissed that they're not receiving, they need to figure out what to do in their life. And the only thing you can do is just do you. Receive amazingly, be grateful, and inspire them. But there's nothing you can do with that. You just be grateful for what's coming your way. Becca says, I've been consciously trying to be a better receiver. It's a bit of work to retrain my brain. Yes, yes, yes. When my fiance said, keep the ring, I said, yes, thank you. It's a $10,000 ring. I felt bad when Carly bought me that stuff for me last night. I'm the mom. I felt like I should be buying for her. And I'm sure that is the last thing on earth she wanted you to feel. The last thing on earth she wanted you to feel. She wanted you to feel grateful, happy, and excited. Mary says, yes, I do. He says, I can use it to travel, hire a coach, invest in my business. That's huge. Anna says, how do you recommend shifting this when you shift into, oh, this is the same question. I had to talk to God about this. This is so beautiful and true, not for real. Just in my head. It's like I failed or I didn't do enough, which is dumb. It is dumb. I'm glad you can see that. And you can let it go. What did you fail at? Failed at what? Life isn't over. You haven't done enough. You haven't done enough yet. Fine. But what if people want to give to you? And they want to give to you. And they want to give to you because they want to make you happy. So suck it up, buttercup. Shelly says, yep, I always take complaints with a smile no matter how, I'm sure you meant compliments, with a smile no matter the size of the mood I'm in. Again, Femme Fatale. Yes. I will say, anybody who wants info on Femme Fatale, just message me and I'll send it to you. What if the rejection happened when you were in the womb? Here's the thing. It is possible that you have a predisposition for some things, but they don't define you forever. You know, they talk about generational pains that you carry in your life. But the biggest issue is people used to have those generational pains without ever knowing how to heal them. Right now, you have full ownership over your life. And when you heal yourself, you heal for you, for the generations before and the generations after. So what you are struggling with is real. It's a predisposition that you had because of your lineage, of your emotional traumas, because of past, because of what other people thought, believed, and struggled with. It's real, but it doesn't define you. It's just what you need to work on in this lifetime. And you do that, you heal the next generation and the one after that. But if you define yourself with it, I am this way because, then you want to be right about that, and you will try to be right about that all of your life. Nikisha says, that's one of my major desires, to heal generations after me. You got this. That's one of my, I put all my efforts in becoming. That's why I have a hard time with my mom. So you can actually heal this yourself. But you've got to be willing to let go of being right, that this is your issue and that it's going to stay that way. You've got to believe that you have the ability to do the healing for what's coming and what came before. You have to believe that you can. Because the only reason it got to you in the first place is because the person before you didn't heal it. So now you get to choose. Am I going to heal this, or am I going to give my daughter and the next generation reason to say, well, it's because I'm the way I am because of my mother? You heal this now, it heals everywhere. Someone before you didn't know how. That's why it defined them. It doesn't define you. So I'm very glad you asked that question. It's your duty to love yourself. And you may think that it's not right and that it's, you know, Whitney says, I was just on the phone with my mom during this break. In her mind, I'm not planning next Saturday well enough, and she needs everything to be done now. So she said, I'll get the plates, cups, silverware, and fruit veggie tray. And I replied, okay, thank you. Perfect. She wants to do the work? Thank you. This is your opportunity now to heal. For you, for your past, for your future, for all of it. Oh, you're amazing. Thank you, Melissa. She said she's going to make quotes of all the things I'm saying. So you wouldn't want your daughter to not love herself. If your daughter decided that she can't love herself because it makes her, you know, too proud, or it's not humble and it's not right to love herself, so she's going to be self-deprecating and she's going to take on the lineage as something that keeps her stuck, would you be happy with that? Or is that just the kind of pain you're allowed to handle? Is that just the kind of suffering that's for you? I literally told my family, I feel like the cost of being in this family feels too high sometimes. The cost of being in the family is zero. But when you take it on, then it feels that way. You deserve it. You deserve to be everywhere you are. You do the work on you, everything changes. People get inspired by us. Nobody gets inspired by a person who tells them what to do. People get inspired by a person who does something different, heals for themselves, finds another way. So it's your mission to heal for you and for everyone else. You break the pattern. You don't want your sons carrying this. You don't want your daughters carrying this. Then you heal it. Because they can't, like, your mom didn't break it. You're not breaking it. What chance do they have if you're not going to do the work on you at this point? Especially if you're here doing the work. So all the things of, yeah, but I was brought up with that. Yes, because your parents hadn't healed it. But it's not about what we were brought up with. It's about what we're learning now. We have access to information now that we didn't have information to then. We can change what we know. Because what we know is who we are. And we attract what we are. So what we must change is what we know. Not just what we believe. We change what we know. So how you change what you know is you have to actually start to see results. This is why this group setting is so powerful. Since we've started this program, we've had people sign on new clients, bring in new business partners, manifest money in the mail, $1,500 there, $100 there, $5,400 here. Clients they thought they'd lost, new consultations people had never done before. Clients paying off their things that they own, and then you yourself and your client both joining the program. Like, there are a lot of amazing things that have happened since the beginning of this program. There's a lot of reasons to believe that miracles happen. There's a lot of reasons to believe manifestation is true. There's a lot of reasons to believe postulates are a thing. There's a lot of reasons to believe that in this program. But what happens to us is we try to have self-confidence and it's not working. And the biggest reason we don't have self-confidence is because we keep proving ourselves. We keep proving that we're not capable of doing things. So in your physical life, when you say, I'm going to do laundry today, and you don't, you show yourself you have no word. When you say, I'm going to do a Facebook Live tonight, and you don't, you show yourself, I have no word, I have no integrity. And eventually you stop believing yourself. And when you stop believing yourself, it's a lot harder to have confidence in yourself. So integrity is such a huge part of the law of attraction. You need to find out where you're lying to yourself. Procrastination is lying. You lie to yourself. This is why you don't trust yourself, is because you're a liar. If anyone else lied to you the way you lied to yourself, you would not have a relationship with them. Everything is a relationship. You have a relationship with yourself. You have a relationship with your partner. You have a relationship with your friends. You have a relationship with your client. And you have a relationship with money. And how you do one thing is how you do most things. Your relationship with money is probably very similar to the relationship you have with yourself. You promise and you don't follow through. You want it, but you don't believe in it. You heal the relationship with you, most things change. It's not good to have a bad relationship with yourself. It is not powerful. It is not humble to see your own flaws. It's crap. You're just lovable. You're just lovable. You don't need to do anything to be lovable. You just are. You just are. What is beautiful about you? What are all the things that you can say, wow, this is beautiful about me? What are the things that you can love about you? There's so many things that are beautiful. So your homework is also to find out all the things that are beautiful about you and amazing about you and that you actually truly love about you. It's okay that there's things that are not perfect. It's okay. You don't need to be perfect. Thank you, Sandra. You don't need to be perfect, but if you can at least focus on what works, then what's the point? Anchor yourself on what works, on what you love, what's beautiful about you. Find a way to love who you are. Love yourself the way you would love someone you love. Love yourself the way you want your daughter to love herself, the way you want your son to love himself. It doesn't need to be because you've done something. Do you want your son and your daughter to love themselves because of something they've done? Is that really what love is? How well you can perform? How good you're doing? How wealthy you are? That's what love, if that's what love is, then it's cheap. That's not love. Love is a feeling that's so big it brings people back to life. It makes people fight. It makes people live. Love is so much bigger than all of that. If all we've got is love because we look pretty and love because we've done good and we've made money and what's that? That's not love. That's admiration and lust and desire. Love is so much deeper than that. Why do you love you? And you know what? A lot of people only realize they love themselves when they get really close to losing themselves, like destitution or a disease that could take your life. Then all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, please don't take me away from me. I'm not done with this life yet. The body you hate becomes the body you want to save all of a sudden. When you're about to lose it, that's when you realize you love it. What if you decided not to wait that long? And, you know, Tracy is a very big advocate for this. So you've got to know in the bottom of your heart that you are your soul, your spirit, and your body, and you're working hand in hand. When your spirit hates your body and your body hates your spirit, how can we integrate that? There's got to be love. Not because you're perfect. Not because we're perfect. Sandra says it's so overwhelming when we realize how hard and unloving we are to ourselves. We wouldn't treat our enemies this bad. We wouldn't treat our enemies this bad. And anybody we love that would speak to themselves the way we do, we'd be like, you have got to stop this right now. Like, this is not right. So you got to raise the standard of your relationship with yourself, because the relationship you have with yourself sets the energetic standard for everything else in your life. And it's not about being like, I am perfect and I am beautiful and I'm sexy and I'm all the things, but just being like, I feel so good to be alive and I'm proud of myself. I did something so great. Can't believe I manifested that. That's amazing. The way you would a little kid. There's a little kid inside of you. You know that? A tiny little kid that is always trying to impress you. And it's like every time she does something and she's like, look what I just did. And you're like, yeah, great. And you throw it in the trash. Look, I made this drawing. You colored outside the lines, dumbass. Throw it in the trash. There's a little kid inside of you that's just waiting for you to be kind. The one that says, it's okay that it's been hard. You're going to be okay. The one that says, it's okay if they don't like you. It's okay that it's not easy. It's okay. It's okay that you don't like this part. We'll work on it. It's okay. I love you. If you don't have that, then what? What chance do we have if we can't even give ourselves what we're lacking? And it's not even from a place of desperation. It's from a place of just love. And I'm telling you, the day the end comes and you're faced with wanting one more day, you'll get what self-love means. The day that you don't get to choose, you get to stay anymore. And be like, I don't want to go. I liked it here. I changed my mind. What if you decided to take this human experience and completely embrace it? And say, I'm so grateful that I'm here. And I'm grateful for this body that gives me life. I'm just grateful. Mary says, this is what I teach women. Stop auto-abusing yourself. This is emotional and physiological. Wait, why can't I say this word? Psychological. That's what you're trying to say. Emotional and psychological. I can't. Psychological abuse on yourself. Shelly says, I'm feeling sad for being so mean to myself. It's almost disgusting me right now. Eyes are leaking. I would never treat or talk to anyone that way. That's how I get past the fear of going live. That's how I get past the fear of going live. There's nothing anyone can say to me that could be worse than what I've said to myself. So with all this being said, can we kind of just see that this just doesn't work? Like, it clearly doesn't work. And you know what the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting things to change. So far, you want to be financially abundant, but you don't think you deserve it. You want to be happy, but you're consistently beating yourself up. You want to be loved, but you hate yourself. How is that going to work? It's not. It's just not. Becca says, it's a wake-up call when you have health issues. When I got diagnosed with lupus, it made me appreciate my body even more. So often, you got to wait till everything breaks. What if you don't need to wait till it breaks? What if you can just make a break in your pattern right now yourself and say, that is it. That is it. I'm going to talk to myself the way I would talk to someone I love. The people you love may not be perfect, but you wouldn't talk to them this way. You've got this. So your job, your homework, is to write out all the things that you love about you. And also to go back to all of the things that you believe and look at what you would need to believe that is possible. You know, it's not necessarily like, I deserve everything. You know, what is the actual belief? I'm as deserving. I'm deserving just because I am. Or if my daughter is deserving, then so am I. What is something that you could believe? If my daughter is deserving, then so am I. I'm her mother with the same lineage. If she's come from me, then she's just as worthy as I am. What does that mean? If she's worthy, I'm worthy. Where do you have to go in order to change that belief? Is it true? No. So what is true? Question it for once in your freaking life. Just question it. Don't fight it. Don't try to just disprove it immediately. Question it. Is it really true? No, it's not. Why is it not? Because, and then find reasons why it's not true. Why is this not true? It's not true that money is hard to make because I just saw this person manifest money and that person manifest money. It isn't necessarily hard. It can be. So that is the homework for this couple of days until our last one. Our last one ties everything together in such a big way. Are you seeing how magic happens when you're just in the right vibe? Your vibe attracts your tribe, and your tribe is the one with the money. Like, you attract people and their power. That is your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe means it attracts everything. Your clients, your family, your partner, the service you get, all the things. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Your energy attracts the people. It's the people. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for this today. You've been beautiful, every single one of you. Thank you for sharing your deep truths, your fears. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing the things you wouldn't normally do. Thank you for celebrating with us when you got great things happen. Thank you for crying. Thank you for letting yourself be. Thank you for not being on autopilot. Thank you for letting us meet you here. It's really an honor and a privilege. I'm loving every single one of you, and this is amazing. And congratulations to all of you for your wins. Thank you for sharing everything, and we will meet again very soon for our last official session where everything gets tied together. So go keep celebrating. Sanjali, I want to see a post of your success. Courtney, I want to see a post of your success. Keep posting your successes. I love you. 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 Thank you for being here.